You can find us at BWSSpodcast.com and on Facebook at BWSS Podcast. This is because we said so. Let's start the show.
And now, recording from beautiful and sexy Miami, with your hosts, Seth and Laz and Research Lucas. It's because we said so.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? So for this week, we're going to do another classic episode with everything going on in Cuba right now. We did an episode with Marcos, whose father was able to report from what life was like under Fidel Castro's rule. And it was pretty interesting, very enlightening and stuff like that. We recorded an episode that's going to be released in a few weeks. For those of you following along, I was in a movie. Me, Marcos, Lucas, of course, and Laz watched the movie. We commented on it. It was actually a really fun episode. We're going to be releasing that on Friday the 13th. It is a horror movie. So I wanted to get something out this week because we took off last week because of the 4th. So this week we're going to do another classic episode, and this is going to be Life Under Fidel Castro's Rule. Back then, the episodes were a lot longer than they are now, so hopefully you can stick with it. For those of you following along all this time, really, really appreciate it. And we will be back next week with a fresh episode, fresh news, all that stuff, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Boom.
You can find us at BWSSpodcast.com and on Facebook at BWSS Podcast. This is because we said so. Let's start the show.
Seth is like, it's so fucking late.
Dun, dun, dun.
It is so late, bro. It's been a hell of a week. Everyone's been working their ass off. It's Art Basel down here, and good Lord. I'm already tired of talking. Haven't even gotten started yet.
We're about to buy some art, baby.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right.
Everyone's buying art. Everyone's selling art. There's the second biggest art gathering in the world. But yeah, everyone's here ready to take part in the artistic side of humanity, if you will.
Have you guys ever visited the galleries and stuff?
No, because I'm always freaking working.
Yeah.
And when I'm not working, I'm sleeping. When I'm not sleeping, now I'm doing this podcast. So
I heard there was about $1 billion running through the Art Basel, like in the time that it's happening here.
I believe it.
Like selling, buying, this, that, at least $1 billion.
I believe it. That doesn't surprise me at all.
But yeah, I'm going tomorrow.
Are you?
Wynwood, probably hit up Design District 2.
I'm working. We're open later. I'm gonna be getting out, probably getting home like 1-3 in the morning. It's gonna be kind of crazy. That's all right. I don't mind. A lot of people, spending money on awesome wine. That's for sure. But anyway, this is because we said so. And in case you guys haven't figured it out by now, and this is officially episode 15. So I guess we're not a 14-hit wonder, right? But anyway, yeah, we broadcast from Miami. You got Seth here, Mic 1, Laz over there, Mic 2.
Yo.
And Lucas in Mic 3.
Hey.
Hey. Back to the hey.
Hey.
And sitting in with us on Mic 4, we got Marcos, a.k.a. the Dark Sun.
Darkness.
There you go, the darkness. But real quick, just where you can find us, you can get us at BWSS Podcast. And that's at .com and Facebook, Twitter. Our email is contact@bwsspodcast.com. YouTube is BWSS Podcast. So our Twitter page sucks. It's actually pretty awesome, but because I'm not really working on getting a cool Twitter page, we don't really have a lot of followers. So I'm gonna have to really have to work on that. I ordered new business cards, and I'm really excited about them because we got the new pictures in and everything. So we're going to be able to get those out, and they're going to have the proper information because the old ones have some of the old information before I got the .com and all that stuff. So real quickly, before actually, let me do topics real fast. We're going to be talking about Fidel Castro. And Marcos here. You had a special interview that you conducted today for the show. You want to really quickly just touch on who you interviewed and why?
Yes. So I interviewed my father today. He left Cuba when he was 14.
Sure.
Went to Spain, then came to the States. His parents left about 2 years later. They even sent him by himself.
Really?
That's how scared they were about the regime that was happening with with Castro, taking over.
And can you tell me what year that was? Just because I have a timeline and I want to know when we can jump to your...
Well, Castro became the ruler of Cuba in 1959.
Yep.
My father left in 50... No, he left in 67.
67, okay.
Yeah, so my grandparents were there during Batista and during...
So this is after the Cuban Missile Crisis. This is, way into the regime getting a firm grasp on the country.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, sweet. All right. Well, not sweet, but I've been contemplating, I guess, whether or not to bring someone in who kind of has inside knowledge that has come from that. But I find that a lot of people, it's a really polarizing situation. So I'm glad you actually got some insider information, because I kind of wanted to do that, but at the same time, I didn't want to kind of rile people up. Moving on, we're also going to be talking about Kanye West. He got out of the hospital today, which is great. Maybe we'll get a little bit more information. Right now, there isn't a whole lot going on, but we can certainly talk about his... he was in there for almost over a week. They said he was going to get out over Thanksgiving. That didn't happen. Then it was like Monday. That didn't happen. So...
exhaustion to last a week?
Well, exhaustion is the reason he was admitted. That's the reason that they give to, the media, just to kind of cover up the real situation.
And psychoanalysts.
Absolutely. There's also a Harry Potter controversy we're going to briefly touch on. Laz is over there laughing.
No, I'm not laughing. That wasn't me. I'm curious to know what it's about. I think I know, but I have no idea.
Marcos laughing? Okay. Because I didn't tell you about this. Yeah, Marcos doesn't know.
No.
Yeah, there's a Harry Potter controversy. I guess you weren't aware. Also, South Florida. I don't know if you guys realized, but Amendment 1 was shot down, as we all know. We spoke about it. We wanted to get shot down because it was basically... Well, to be honest with you, the Supreme Court of Florida allowed the power companies to get involved in writing the amendment, and they wrote the amendment in such a way to make it look like they were helping solar power, but really what they were doing was keeping people from being able to build solar power and be not only off the grid, but making it so that people had to pay for the solar power that they got from the sun through this amendment, and it got shot down. Thankfully, enough people spoke about it to get the word out. But unfortunately, South Florida is being screwed by FPL, basically because they didn't get what they wanted. So now they found another way to screw people. We're going to talk about that really, really quickly. Also, Miami is losing sand, and we're going to be doing Lucas's weather. So really quickly, before we get the shout-outs, I do have one correction to make. Last week we were talking about the EM drive, and I was talking about how a magneton pushes the microwaves, but it's actually not a magneton. Magneton is a fucking Pokemon character.
I should have caught that.
Maybe that was it.
It's a magnetron, not a magneton. A magnetron is what pushes the microwaves. So it would have been really awesome to get an email. I was like, "Excuse me, but I'm pretty sure it's magnetron and not magneton."
What did magneton evolve into?
That's the evolution. I don't know that. Go ahead, Lucas. You know that.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
It's the evolved form of magnemite.
Yeah. So
Hey,
He didn't even have to look that one up.
Don't be giggling back there. I grew up with it.
Well, you want to know why? Because when Pokemon came out, this dude, Magnemite, was literally in our apartment every day. As soon as you turn the app on, it's right there. So this Magneton, it didn't take very long for us to catch one. But anyway, yeah. So sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so any shout outs out there, Les? Damn, wow. He's got the hear ye.
He said, I didn't write any notes.
That was all fake,
paper.
though. That was all fake.
Okay. You're reading off it, bitch.
No, that's not fake. It's not that long.
Okay. But you're still... Okay, go ahead.
Shouts out on my friend Vicky. She just started listening to the show. She's like on episode 5. She's making fun of everybody that's like Ricky's voice sounds like a 12-year-old. And like the God voice of this dude, Lucas.
Yep.
She likes the show so far. I think she's on 5 or she's on the one that had the 2 parts.
What does she have to say about like Camilo and like Daniel and all that?
Yeah, that's what she's like. Daniel sounds a little weird. Camila hasn't shown up yet on episode 5. Episode 4, she's on.
Okay, yeah.
But she's laughing about the phone calls and stuff like that.
Nice.
And then shout out my
hello, was Vicky? You said?
Yeah, Vicky.
Hey, Vicky, what's up?
Yeah, she's probably not going to hear us for like another week, but it's all good.
Well, dude, if she's going through all the ones, that's pretty awesome.
Okay.
I'd say.
And then my brother's birthday was yesterday. My little brother Daryl.
Nice, happy birthday.
And my mom's birthday is on Monday.
Oh, damn, nice. That's an expensive week for you.
Yeah. I write them down. I always have stuff. I just can't forget remember.
I got you.
I'm getting old, bro.
Any shout outs there, Marcos?
Yeah. Shout out to my old man, Marcos. Shout out to my mama, just because I love her.
There you go.
Shout out to my sister, my little brother Madison. Probably going to make my sister listen to this one. Jeannie.
Of course.
Jesse.
Shout
Get
out.
everybody on board.
Gotcha.
And shout out to Making Cuba great again.
There you go. There we go. Lucas, any shout outs?
No, but, well, kinda.
Okay. We'll take a kinda.
To Emma Morano, who is now the oldest living person at 117 years old.
Wow, that's nice.
And also the last known living person to be born in the 1800s.
Where is she? Where does she live? From where does she hail?
That's what I'm...
China,
Oh, come on, bro. Really?
Yeah, no, it's...
Okay.
Korea, Minnesota.
She's a drifter.
Well, I mean, honestly, you don't usually have shout out at all, so we'll take a shout out that's lacking a little bit of information. How's
Yeah,
that?
well, that's... Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got, of course, I want to shout out BWSS Australia. They put a post up that they didn't have a podcast coming out, but I hope there's one next week. It is pretty entertaining. You can get them at Murphs YT13. That's MURFS YT13, and that's on Twitter. They post all of their podcasts. I don't know. Do you watch any WWE wrestling at all, Marcos, or anything like that?
Wrestling a little bit.
Okay.
Man. I knew there was this really cool character. I forgot his name, but he said some shit like SWAFT, soft.
Really?
You're
Okay.
soft.
Interesting.
And then I started liking it.
All right. Well, these guys, I mean, that's kind of what they do. I think they kind of stream the video game because I don't play the game, so I'm not really 100% sure. I don't know if they're acting out like matches that had happened or if they have their own matches, but they got a ton of followers, like in the thousands, which is pretty awesome. But they do a podcast where they kind of recap the wrestling, but they also recap some MMA. I heard them. Or they were talking about Colin McGregor maybe getting into wrestling, which I think would be awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, because they talked about it. He's like, hey, I'm listening, He's like, I'm listening. I don't know. It would be pretty cool.
He already throws bottles and slams chairs on people.
Yeah,
so.
no shit, dude. That's true. And other than that, I mean, I usually shout out like Japan and Canada and all that. But to be honest with you, we haven't gotten any new countries or new states. There's still a couple that haven't listened. We are going to be moving in really quickly into I Got Beef. Anybody have beef today? No? Uh-oh, here comes the paper.
All right. I was trying to get off the overnight shift, so we were trying to hire somebody else.
Yeah. Okay.
So the other day, maybe like I don't remember. I told you when I saw Marcos in the parking lot after work.
Yep.
So I'm sitting there talking to Marcos. We're probably outside for like an hour, like having a smoke, and had some bourbon that I had bought from a very expensive place. I wanted him to try it. So we're outside, we're drinking, we're talking. So then one of the girls from works at the front desk. She's like, "Yo, Laz, where are you?" Like, I'm on the way home. Like, what's going on? She's like, "Oh, the girl that's working, she's lost. She's not answering the radio. Customers are complaining. Da 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 da. People are canceling orders." So then, like the next day, my manager's like, "Oh, you have to stay overnight regardless. Even if that girl's working overnight, you're stuck working overnight no matter what." And I'm just like, "Well, what happened?" And then she's like, 8 people canceled their orders. Like 7 people did this. And then when I went to go talk, when I saw my schedule, the girl came in because she hadn't seen me for a couple of days. And then I was upset. And she's like, "Why are you upset?" I'm like, "Because look at my fucking schedule." And then she's like, "Oh, that has nothing to do with me." I'm like, "Yes, it does, because you can't handle your shift. Now I have to work with you instead of working by myself or working my hours and choosing the days I have off.
Or stay my ass home.
Yeah, exactly. So like now I'm basically fucked all over the place. I mean, it just blows. I mean, now at least they're trying to, I get my days off for the podcast.
Get really nice breakfast, bro.
Yeah, once I get parking. I mean, yeah, I was happy about it last week, but now like I'm like, fuck that, bro. Like I'd rather walk from 41st Street, man. Like whatever.
I hear you, bro.
But
that
I mean,
sucks.
It's just annoying.
So, well, Lucas, real quickly, why don't you tell them about your work situation since we're on this?
7 people at one time put their 2 weeks notice in. But it seems to be some of them are retracting it due to offers.
You can't retract it.
Well, you can if they say, please stay.
Yeah,
we value your presence.
Managers go up. Hold on a minute. Let me go talk to so and so. And as far as I know, 5 of them are at least confirmed with 2 others.
Yeah,
that are possible.
So they're trying to bully their way into better situations, basically.
But
that wasn't the plan, though. They just planned to just.
I think the plan was I'm out, and they're like, nobody wants to leave their job. If you hate it that much, you're just pieced the fuck out. Yeah. Most people, when they put in their 2 weeks notice,
they're ready.
They're ready to go. But at the same time, 2 weeks notice, like a lot can happen in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's what's up.
Like $1 an hour more.
Well, yeah, that
I mean,
could
but
definitely happen.
that's not. But
I can-
from what's going on, that's not enough, right?
Well, that depends on the situation. I mean, we don't know what's going on under, I don't know,
Under that umbrella.
And
under
you
the
gotta
rug.
remember, you know, where season's about to start, so I'm pretty sure
behind the
management
scenes. Yeah,
are
that's true.
scrambling to just try to
Dude,
keep
season-
them. Because if it was summertime, they would not give a flying fuck. They'll
That's
be like,
true.
you want to leave 7 people? Have a nice day. We'll hire 7 people before season starts.
Yeah.
But now it's like they're gonna scramble.
All those
We can't-
people getting an extra day off are just going to work. That's all they're going to do.
basically.
I hear you. Well, Laz, I hope it works out for you, bro. I really
Lucas.
hope so.
Oh, me? Yeah. I mean,
Laz, yeah, totally.
Yeah, forget about me.
otherwise, I'm gonna die. I mean, it's just
You're going to get exhausted like Kanye.
Any other? Yeah, right. Seriously. Any other beef on that piece of paper of yours?
This one's not serious, but other day Ricky was at my house and he went to this to La Grange to buy some food and he's like, "Oh, you want anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, buy me some rice and beans." He's like, "No meat, just rice and beans." So I had 8 already, so I was gonna save it for later, like for a midnight snack, because when I don't work overnight, I kind of like
Stay up late anyway.
I kind of stay up late, or I sleep until like 1 a.m. and I wake up and I read or do whatever.
Sure.
So I wake up, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. And
Someone ate your shit.
My brother's watching TV. I'm like, "Yo, Nate, did you see my food on the stove?" And he's like, "Yeah, Ricky took it." I'm like, "But he bought it for him." Like, but he took it with him. Like, why the fuck did he do that shit? Like, I don't know. And I had some like leftover Publix chicken.
Damn.
And the rice and beans. I was hungry as hell, and that was.
The Publix fried chicken?
Yep.
Dude, it's so delicious.
And you know what I ate? Fucking Oreo cookies and milk.
Yes.
Damn.
But it was.
That's Lucas's jam.
Yes, it is.
It really
And
is.
I usually have to hide it from Seth.
Well, no, now he just buys 2. 1 pack for me, 1 pack for him. He's learned. Because if he buys 1 pack, I'm going to probably eat some of those anyway. But it's actually cool because now I don't feel like I have to eat cookies before they're gone. I have my own pack, and oftentimes he'll eat his, he'll get another one, and then I'll still have like cookies left.
And back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
But it ain't no Publix fried chicken.
no, dude, Publix fried chicken's great, but it's only good until like, you can't, like if you reheat it, it's not, it's just
No,
not the
we
same.
reheat it in the toaster oven.
There you go. I mean, that's all right. So I got a really, I don't have any really beef this week, but I do want to, it's our brand new segment here at BWSS Podcast. It's called, Am I an Asshole?
Am I an asshole?
Before
Yes,
the story
yes, you
even
are.
happens.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
So anyway, here we go. Daniel was supposed to record with us today, and I had spoken to Daniel. I guess it was like last, Thursday. I was like, "All right, bro," or Friday. I was like, "All right, bro, you're up." Which is what? It's about
It's
5 days
been
ago.
about a week, bro.
Yeah. So I was like, you're up. He's like, all right, cool. Can you make it? He's like, yeah, let me double check because he's a photographer. It's what he does. It's Art Basel. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on.
I didn't think about that until just now, until we talked about it.
Totally.
Yeah.
So whatever. So and then I talked to him on Saturday, like, what's up? Can you commit? He's like, I'll let you know tomorrow morning. I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. So tomorrow morning, which is Sunday morning, which is 3 days ago, I get nothing. I mean, obviously, I'm not up in the fucking morning, but when I get up in the afternoon, I got nothing from him, but I knew I was going to see him at work, so I went to work, talked to him, and I was like, bro, or what's up? You're supposed to text me. He's like, yeah, I'm in, yeah. Looking at me incredulously, like how dare I'm in, bro? Like seriously.
How dare you ask me?
Yeah, like
That
shit,
reminds me of our
man.
first episode.
I'm like, okay, and then you're in. Boom. So I wake up today at like 3 o'clock, and the reason I'm up at 3 o'clock is 'cause I had to do inventory last night, counting like 3,000 bottles of wine, and I didn't get home till like 2, and then I had to do research and put like everything together for the run of show because I had to work today. And after today, I came home. You guys were already here because I got home late, and then I had to put in orders and all this and that, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I wake up at 3:30, and I get a text from him saying, hold on, actually, let me get my phone out. We'll just read exactly what it says, because if we're going to find out if I'm an asshole,
Am I an asshole?
I want to make sure that we, where is it? Do.
While he looks, he's an asshole all the time. But for this situation,
Yeah,
is he an
well, I mean,
asshole?
we're talking about this specific situation. So, okay, might have to. This came in by the time it came in at 12:30. By the time I got up at 3:30, I got it. Might have to call off tonight. Got potential paid gigs coming up. It's like, all right, so I get up, bro. Like, I don't even have coffee. Like, go to the bathroom, and I see the text. I'm like, all right, fucking A. First thing I think is, all right, well, if he says he might not be able to make it, then chances are he has gigs. I read it as, okay, he's testing me. He wants to get my reaction. It's like, all right, well, that's fucked up, man. Then you're like, all right, I can make it. Or I'm like, oh, that's cool. Then he would take the gig. So I was like, all right, screw it. I'll just find somebody else, and then he can do whatever the hell he wants. So, yeah, I started texting and this and that. I texted you. I texted Camilo, he was working. I texted you, Laz, to see if Ricky was working, this and that. And you said you were off, which is perfect because that means you can do research and interviews, apparently, which is great. So we decided to go with you. And when Daniel, he texted me like a little after 4. He was like, no response, question mark, because I hadn't responded yet because I didn't like have anyone covering. So, I heard from you and I decided, of course, you, Marcos, I'm pointing, but I guess I heard from Marcos listeners.
Dumbass.
And right. So I heard from Marcos. He said he could come in tonight, which is perfect because, he's also into hip hop. We're going to be talking Kanye. But I talked to Marcos. He said he was in. So I texted Daniel back. You've been replaced. Cool. You're off the, I didn't say you're off the hook, but that was kind of like, yeah, you've been replaced. And then he texts back. He's upset and this and that. And I'm like, dude, you committed. You said you could do it. You looked at me like I was an idiot when I asked you if you could do it. And then you text me to say you have possible gigs. I'm going to replace you. I don't understand.
Damn.
And I feel like it's not that difficult of a decision. And I just don't see how it could be construed as me being an asshole when I thought I was doing him a favor, A, and B, if you can't make it, I can't just sit around and wait. I'm going to find somebody. So the question is, with respect to this situation, am I an asshole?
Sounds like strictly business to me.
Okay.
I don't think he was an asshole at all.
Okay.
I am part of the group text where they were talking to each other about it. And I didn't get involved because I usually like to spectate unless it's like something I'm like, I would be like, shut up guys, it's enough, but it just ended on its own. But I mean, I don't think he did anything wrong because you don't know how many times we have to deal with the same thing. And how many times Seth is like, I have this person, I don't know what to do. And it's a lot. So once you have somebody like, we already had them since like Sunday, you know what I mean? It's like, then we were done with that. And then for today to come up with like, look for another person, it's a little difficult.
Yeah, and not only that, this week is just a tough week because it's our Basel. I'm literally working 12 days in a row. Yesterday was inventory. Didn't get out till 2. We're going to be open an extra hour all weekend. I don't have any days off. Normally I get a day or two to research the show. And we're doing Fidel Castro, and damn, man, it's a lot. And so I literally have been spending all my extra time researching, trying to get stuff together. And then all of a sudden, today when I'm trying to get you saw, I was trying to still put the studio together when I got home from work tonight. Because usually, I would spend it today getting it together. Instead, I'm making phone calls, trying to find somebody, and then texting with Daniel. And then all of a sudden, starting to wonder, am I an asshole? Because,
I don't think he was really mad, though.
No, he wasn't mad, but it's just he sent me something on Instagram, but it didn't really come through. So that's pretty much it. Where are we with time anyway? 20 minutes?
Yeah, 21.
He's
right,
definitely
cool.
not the first, and he's not going to be the last. So
No. It's all good.
It's all good. Everybody's like,
he's contributed plenty to this podcast. He's earned the right to bail. But when I replace you, just fucking, that's it. I don't even, well, it wasn't really like that. I was like, it was kind of like that. You said you could do it, and then you said all of a sudden you can't, and I replaced you.
This is not the last podcast.
No, that's true. No, he'll be in for it.
And I'm sorry, Daniel, he is an asshole.
Yeah.
he is an asshole, but I mean, not, at this time, I think you were wrong.
But I understand. He's going to come in here next week with
non-biased decision.
Well, no, he's coming in
next week with beef.
He's coming in for the Star Wars one, that's for sure. Yeah, he probably will have a
Do
little
I have
beef.
to see that?
Yes, you do. Yeah, you'll see it and you'll like it. That's for sure. You'll like it, bro.
I saw this. I know what this is. This is the Death Star.
Yeah, thank you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I have a big 5-foot Death Star in my studio here. Anyway, some quick news. Wells Fargo, I don't know if you guys heard this, but they asked the courts to force customers into arbitration for the fake accounts cases. When you guys all get your bank account, I don't know about bank. Yeah, I was sure bank accounts, but when you get your credit cards, you sign that long ass fucking thing. Basically, you are signing away your ability to sue, even in a class action, and it's supposed to go to arbitration. So that's what they're trying to do, and there's a good chance that it's going to happen. So, and what that does is that keeps all of the information out of the public and makes it so it's a little bit more difficult for them to get what they're looking for. So people are a little bit pissed off about that they would even do that after the crap that they put everyone through. So
what's up all the positive commercials and all the funny stuff they're trying to say?
Bro,
now they're trying to throw that in
they're
the
trying to
face?
change their image, of course.
Fuck that, bro.
Bro, it's ridiculous. So that, you know what? Do the right thing, man.
Just do the
Leave
right
it out
thing.
in the open.
I have Wells Fargo. I'm still not leaving. I'm just saying,
I heard something about that. They stole billions. And they were fined millions.
The thing is, now, John Stump is fired. The other chick, she's sacrificed some of her money, but this arbitration crap, it's just pissing me off.
Some of her money
because
severance. Exactly. She quit and got what, $100 million?
Yeah, they took a lot of the money she was supposed to get. But anyway, Miami New Times, I got this. The FPL raises rates by $811 million.
That's when I got beef.
It could be $1.3 billion,
Well, that's what they originally asked for, 1.2, 1.3 billion. They finally settled on and got approval to raise the rates, $811 million. Florida Power and Light, the only provider of electricity in eastern and southern Florida, after spending most of 2016 wasting more than $8 million on a failed campaign designed to trick customers into giving their rights to solar panels called Amendment 1, FPL is now patting itself on the back by hiking rates by $811 million, despite already bringing in profits of more than $1.5 billion per year.
Imagine how much you had to pay to get that to be the Amendment 1.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, I don't know who they paid, but the Supreme Court allowed them to get involved in the conversation and to help write the bill. That's where it all got crazy. The scandals soar skyward from there. It was revealed this year that FPL's Turkey Point power plant is pumping polluted water straight into Biscayne Bay, an issue FPL has refused to fix. Environmental groups then sued FPL over the leak. So, and if this money or this comes out to about $10 per person per month on average.
Yeah, that's what they said.
That dude, I mean, for me, like that's like that's what, a 10% increase. You know, for other people, it's going to be a lot more. Like that's a little bit crazy, man.
And on companies,
I mean, they're raising their rates 10%, like right off the bat. Yeah, and companies, of course.
If you own a store that's it's on all day, you're stuck.
So you know what? Honestly,
and they use a whole bunch of money.
You can have your $811 million. That's just going to push people to want to freaking get solar power and tell them go fuck yourself.
And
that's it.
They need the money. I don't remember what they needed the money for. But they apparently used a lot of money for certain things they weren't supposed to use it for also.
Well, they're using it for gas generators and stuff like that.
They're trying to create new turbines with natural gas, which they're not even using.
Yeah, they're not even using
and
them.
then they used some money that was supposed to be for Hurricane Matthew, and they didn't use it for that, and they used it for something else. Like, it's a whole mess of things.
It's, dude, honestly.
And what did not their profits? Their profits went up. So they're supposed to stay between a certain range and profits for the people that the shareholders.
Sure.
And every time it goes to a certain percentage, they're supposed to bring it back and give us a break on our bill.
Dividend.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're supposed so it's like
well, that's not happening.
It's supposed to stay between 9 and 11% or something like that of what they make. But if it goes under 8, we get charged more. If it goes over 11 or over 11, something like that, they're supposed to charge us less.
That's not happening.
Yeah, but so they're just looking out. Basically, what's happening is everybody who's making the decisions for FPL are shareholders who are not even in the state. So that's why they're kind of getting away with a lot of stuff.
But this got passed. They were allowed to do this. I don't even understand. I would imagine the only thing I can think of is the people who they probably paid off to get this stupid amendment. They paid off to allow this hike to go through.
It's privatized. It's
Dude, it's
bro.
So freaking ridiculous. Anyway, moving on real quick. Miami New Times again. Miami is out of sand. The sea around Miami is rising a third of an inch a year and accelerating. It's becoming hard to find populated beach in the United States. It doesn't require regular infusions of sand, says Robert Young, director of the Program for Study of Developed Shorelines at Western Carolina University.
Too much tasting.
Yeah, right? Dude, that's a long one. Virginia Beach, North Carolina's Outer Banks, New York's Long Island, New Jersey's Cape May, and countless other coastal cities are trapped into the same cycle. So anyway, sand seems to be an infinite resource, but it isn't. You can't put any kind of sand on the beach. Forget about thousands of miles of dunes in the Sahara and the Gobi. They get beat around by the wind. The grains of sand are too smooth. Sand made by crushing rocks is too jagged. Stones worn down by rivers and waves old millennia is ideal. But even then, it has to be the right type. If the grains are too small, they wash away quickly. Too large, and the beach becomes a steep bank, because it clumps up. If they are the wrong density, the wrong shape, say plate-like shards of broken shells, they'll float in the water, causing cloudiness in the water. If the sand is too dark, it will trap heat and can shift the gender of sea turtles born there and make the sand hotter. So it's not as simple as they think. But as of right now, they're looking for exterior ways to bring sand in because St. Lucie, where is it here? On July 31st, 2015, the Army Corps released a plan for patching eroding sections of Miami Beach. Some of the best alternatives lay to the north, offshore of Martin and St. Lucie. But State Senator Joe Negron, Negron, or Negron, whose district includes parts of Martin and St. Lucie, swore that Miami-Dade, quote-unquote, won't get a single grain. So, and St. Lucie commissioner demanded the Corps take its shovels and buckets and go home. So apparently this sand thing's starting to keep people up.
It's all over the dumbass.
Seriously.
But do you remember a couple of weeks ago when I was telling you about the sand trucks coming every morning? Like by the
yeah. They were dumping them on the beach.
Yeah, they were getting them
They
from
just
up north.
did it. Okay.
They were getting them from up north. I think Daytona or somewhere like that. And they're every morning there was like trucks and trucks and trucks coming by and by. But this has been going on forever.
Yeah.
And we've already lost. Did you see what you read in the New Times, the Miami?
Yeah, this is Miami New Times.
Did you see the pictures of how close like the hotel beach chairs are to the ocean?
No, I mean no, I didn't.
Yeah, they're not like they're.
So we already lost a bunch.
Yeah,
we just had a hurricane.
I mean, but still, it's not. It's even if we have hurricanes, we always have hurricanes. You know what I mean, but they've been doing this for so long, and they can't keep bringing it from the ocean anymore. So
the best option is the nearest Bahamian. Okay. So another option is the nearest Bahamian islands, just 50 miles east of Miami. It's premium sand. Quote unquote, they're not only mysterious, they're gorgeous and wonderful to step on. Lisa Robbins, oceanographer, says the grains, which she likens to little pearls. The sand is so white that when coastal engineer Kevin Bodge brought a barge worth in to Fisher Island, the customs agent just looked at me and said, "You got to be kidding me." So yeah, apparently that's the best option. But they just now released government funds are now able to be used to purchase foreign sand, which is probably the only option at this point. But this is a runaway train, and there's nothing we can do about it.
You know, about every 5 years they resand the little part of the beach, like around the hotel, and this is pretty normal occurrence. It takes about a month, so they kind of shut down the whole beach for a month.
Well, we watched it because it happened right outside. Totally.
Every morning, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, the trucks are there.
But how many?
Just a
forever.
line, yeah.
Like I'm talking about like from 5 to like 9. Like they're just dropping until traffic starts coming up.
Yeah,
there.
And that's only like 3 blocks.
Yeah. Well, now here's the thing, man. It sounds like they're going to have to start doing it every 4 years, then every 3 years. And
I didn't know it was a third of an inch every year. You said
3/4. Somebody, I thought it said third of an. That sounds better, actually.
Yeah, you said third of an inch.
Third of an inch, yeah, right there. Third of an inch a year. That's enough.
The water's rising, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
But
you can't.
You start bringing nice pearly. What do you call
international? Is that what you were laughing about?
Yeah, nice pearly international sand. People are gonna start stealing it, bro.
Well, that could be
Stealing it for how much sand can you steal? I mean,
sand smuggling.
Oh man, come on.
5-gallon jugs every time.
Democrats love this, man.
I was actually thinking about sending some to Mom since she wasn't able to see the beach
There you
while
go.
she was
There you go.
down
And
here.
that's one case.
Yeah, exactly. Right there. Case in point.
There's a lot of Cubans out here, bro.
We can't steal that
Yeah.
much fucking sand, bro. Like it's not that serious. That's not what's going on.
A pickup truck full of sand. I promise you.
All right, we're going to take a break. This is a long one. We will be back very shortly, and we're jumping right into Fidel Castro. Boom.
Boom.
You'll like that. That was the guy that took a picture of Lucas's balls.
No.
Oh, okay.
Nobody took pictures of Lucas's balls but me, sadly. Well, actually, and himself. He liked to do ball selfies and send them to me.
Oh, don't get me started.
Hey, can you get just a little crack on the door there? Headphones on. Do. But no, the pictures, the Scooty's pictures are amazing. Now there's one more little set of pictures we're gonna get, which I'm excited about because these guys got really cool like ad images in addition to like the cool one with the magazine, but I didn't really get cool ad images like they did, so I'm a little bit jealous. So this one I'm gonna get like a really cool image.
God.
Whatever, bitch.
You look the best out of the pictures, bitch.
How, dude?
You think he does that by mistake?
Yeah, he came in there wearing makeup before. I already have my makeup on.
Whatever, bitch. Yeah, this doesn't just happen, you know.
I don't like this lighting. You need to change it.
Yeah,
He
seriously.
came in before we came in and did everything.
Oh. So anyway, yeah, I guess we're back. And we're going to jump into Castro. And then after that, by the way, you have your weather for this week, Lucas?
Yes, I do.
All right, we're not doing it yet. But I just want to
I'm
make
just
sure you have it.
pulling up the right.
So anyway, as I'm sure everyone knows, Fidel Castro passed away. It was last Friday. It's funny too because I think it was last Friday, right? Because one of the memes going around was, he fought his entire life fighting capitalism and died on Black Friday.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I'm going to, real quick, I'll go into a little bit of his history real fast. Not as, like, rule, but, like, where he was born, and then we can kind of have a little conversation and kind of get rolling. But, and by the way, I got my information from New York Times, BBC News, History.com, The Guardian, and CNN. I got pages, several. But anyway, so Fidel Castro was born on August 13th, 1926 in Biran, a small town in East Cuba. I'm sure I murdered the pronunciation, but that's all right. His father was a wealthy Spanish sugarcane farmer, and his mother was a domestic servant for his father's family. After attending a couple Jesuit schools, Castro enrolled as a law student in the University of Havana. While there, he joined the Anti-Corruption Orthodox Party and participated in an aborted coup attempt against the brutal Dominican Republic dictator Rafael Trujillo. In 1950, he graduated from the University of Havana and opened a law office. 2 years later, he ran for election in the Cuban House of Representatives, but the election never happened because of Batista seized power. In 1953, in July of 1953, Castro led about 120 men in a failed attack on the Moncada Army barracks in Santiago de Cuba. Castro was captured and sentenced to 15 years in prison. Many of his men were killed. But the U.S. backed Batista, looking to improve his authoritarian image, subsequently released Castro in 1955 as part of a general amnesty. Then Castro fled to Mexico, where he plotted his return, came back in 1956 with 81 other men, sailed to the eastern coast of Cuba, where the government forces immediately ambushed them. The estimated 18 survivors, including Castro and his brother Raul, fled deep into Sierra Maestra Mountains in southern Cuba with almost nothing. In 1957, he was attracting recruits, winning the small battles against rural guard patrols. In 1958, Batista tried to snuff out the Castro uprising with a massive offensive, complete with Air Force, bombers, and naval offshore units. The guerrillas launched a counterattack. Castro's guerrillas launched a counterattack, seized control from Batista January 1st, 1959, arrived to Havana a week later, soon took over as prime minister, and at the same time, revolutionary tribunals began trying and executing members of the old regime for alleged war crimes.
Straight dictating.
Boom. Yeah, that was a long one. So yeah, that's kind of how it happened. And he seized control in 1959, and before we get into his rule, any thoughts so far?
It's kind of funny how his parents were sugar farmers.
Yep.
Sugarcane farmers,
Totally.
you know? Because in Cuba, that's what it was. It was about sugarcane and producing the sugar for the world, which at that time was rum.
There you go.
Yep.
Rum was everything that anybody was drinking. Nobody wanted anything else. Bourbon didn't exist. Scotch, too far, whatnot. It was rum.
Sure, that makes sense.
And Cuba, that's how they got not all their money, they did a lot of other things.
Sure.
A couple of things started. The rum that we drink, and not we drink, but people drink all the time, started in Cuba. Like Bacardi was in Cuba first.
Yeah, sure.
And in that sense, the Facundo family, which is Bacardi, they had a fight, an argument with Cuba and whatnot, and that's why they ended up going to Puerto Rico. And that was pretty much right away.
I would imagine, if I'm not mistaken, during Prohibition, a lot of the Americans went down to Cuba to kind of do their handle business down there, where it was still considered legal.
The real McCoy, man.
That's true. Yeah, they're sugar farmers, man. I guess. That was kind of the way of the world, as you were saying. I didn't realize it was that dominant. But yeah, with the rum, it certainly makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, imagine that was the most of their income for the country.
Yeah.
Besides tourism and gambling and
whatnot,
and
that's probably how he was
Meyer Lansky and whatnot.
Sure,
that's probably how he was able to survive in like the mountains and stuff, like away from everybody, to flee into the forest and whatever.
Yep.
To get what I mean. It's hard for. I'm pretty sure if they drop the four of us in the middle of some forest, we'd probably die in a week.
Well, yeah, because we live here.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll
take Bear Grylls with me. I'll be fine.
But like my parents can probably grow anything and eat from the yard if they can.
Sure.
Like that's how they do when they're in Haiti. That's what they do. They just eat whatever's growing in the yard.
Well, and that's like something that I wish I had more access to. I'd have a garden. Totally have a garden. That'd be sweet. Totally. But it's really a lot more difficult. Yeah, but with all the farming and the sugar farming, that's a lot of like energy too. I mean, if you could find a sugar farm, you certainly won't starve. That's a lot of carbohydrates too.
And one of the ways that Castro kind of made his takeover, kind of legit, the way he got people on his side was, all right, the sugar farmers and everybody who works in the farm that are getting paid $2 an hour, you're going to get a piece of that land.
Yeah.
You're going to get a piece of this land, and the sugar farmer is just going to have his little piece, and you guys can plant whatever you like on there and do whatever you want with that land. And that's how the poor people or the hardworking blue-collar folks were backing Castro.
Sure.
Because they thought, well, they believed in his lies, basically.
Well, we'll get into it. I mean, he did a lot of really awesome, and he has his proponents and his opponents. But we'll certainly get into a few other things that he great things that he did for that country. And there's some stuff that, I mean, Nelson Mandela personally thanked him for a lot of his involvement in helping to fight apartheid and stuff like that also. He dominated his country with strength and symbolism from the day he triumphed, entering Havana on January 8th, 1959, completed his overthrow of Batista by delivering his first major speech in the capital before tens of thousands of admirers at the vanquished dictator's military headquarters. A spotlight shone on him as he spoke passionately until dawn. Finally, white doves were released to signal Cuba's new peace. When one landed on Mr. Castro, perched on his shoulder, the crowd erupted, chanting Fidel, Fidel. Within 2 years of taking power, he declared the revolution to be Marxist, Leninist in nature and allied Cuba firmly with the Soviet Union. So I don't know. I did some research on this type of this Marxist Leninist, and it goes into all kinds of philosophy and stuff like that. But a lot of it has to do with the labor theory of value, which argues that the economic value of a good or service is determined by the total amount of socially necessary. So basically, how valuable what you have is determined by how many people need it. Not how much you want it or how much you like to have it. It's really about how much labor is required to produce it. So if it's socially necessary and requires a lot of labor to produce it, it's worth a lot more than, if it's something that people just get pleasure from. Dialectical materialism and the class struggle, also called class conflict, which is a conflict between two classes and reflecting opposing interests. Basically, it's one of those, like, you're either one of the farmers, as you mentioned, or you're one of the people who kind of rule the farmers. It's kind of like one of those situations. The best way to put it is it's a dictatorship. Yep. And allying with Russia really made things difficult. But what happened was in 1960, the U.S. enacted a trade embargo because the U.S.-owned businesses in Cuba were nationalized without compensation, including oil refineries, factories, and casinos. So that's where the entire embargo that we just are now starting to get away from started. We had a bunch of business over there, and Castro was like, well, they're mine now, bitch. What's up?
Yeah.
Boom.
Is it one of those things where those businesses weren't paying anything to the country, or was it like...
They were mobsters.
Oh, okay.
Well, oil refineries, factories, casinos. I mean, it definitely sounds like mobsters to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really think of that or know that, but since you mentioned it, it certainly sounds plausible.
Put it like, example, my grandmother used to work in La Florida, which is a really nice hotel in Havana.
Yep.
Right off the beach. And she used to tell me, oh, yeah. Like, I was reading up on Meyer Lansky when I was younger, and she's like, oh, yeah, I used to serve him.
Okay.
I used to serve him. He used to go to the hotel all the time. And obviously, I mean, he died in South Florida.
Sure.
But, it's definitely mob ties.
Okay.
And Castro was like, we're going to get all these mobs out of here. We're going to fix the country, and everything's going to be equal. Even if you're a doctor and you go to school to be a doctor, you're going to make $35 a month because everybody else is going to make $35 a month.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning of his regime and him trying to make the community go on his side, basically.
Well, I mean, 1961, about 1,400 Cuban exiles trained and funded by the CIA landed near the Bay of Pigs. This is the whole Bay of Pigs, right? Trying to overthrow Castro, but we're idiots.
No, Kennedy pulled out.
Well, he pulled out a second, bombing assault. The first bombs didn't actually, make it. The second strike was called off. The first one didn't even land where they were supposed to. And the bombing runs. Ultimately, more than 100 exiles were killed and nearly everyone else was captured. Later in 1962, Castro freed them in exchange for medical supplies and baby food worth about $52 million.
Freed the 10 that he didn't kill. It was a massacre.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, I would have... Of course it was. That's not a surprise. You come over here and shit like that. I mean, yeah, I think we're one of the very few countries where we'll try to save some of you and all this and that. But I think most countries, and I would agree that you come, you're going to shoot them. You're invading us. We're not going to just
pretty much. You're invading your old country that you escaped.
Yeah.
With help from the U.S. We're going to go and
it's just
take
like
this
every
over.
time we hear a domestic terrorist, like one of our United States guys who's over and fighting in ISIS. It's just It's freaking fucked up. And the whole thing is like you're bombing Americans. Well, I mean, some of them you're bombing, yes, but you're bombing Americans who have decided to, work with ISIS or, Al Qaeda or whatever. So anyway, the alliance with the Soviet Union led to the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, bringing the world to the brink of nuclear war. The two superpowers plunged into one of their biggest Cold War confrontations after a pilot in an American U-2 spy plane making a high-altitude pass over Cuba on October 14, 1962, photographed the Soviet SS-4 medium-range ballistic missile being assembled for installation. The Soviets had long felt uneasy about the number of nuclear weapons that were targeting them from this west in Europe and Turkey, and they saw a deployment of missiles in Cuba as a way to level the playing field. In the end, the Soviets removed the missiles in exchange for us pretty much agreeing that we weren't going to invade Cuba. So that's pretty much how that played out. But and rightfully so. Like they're still not happy with the fact that we're still putting missiles all over parts of Europe.
Yeah, they're still not over that.
Well, we're still doing it though. That's the thing. Like it's just recently they got upset over some missile installations we put in. So which is understandable. It wouldn't bother them if they were on our side and they were friends with us, but since they're not, it's understandable.
Or if they had someone they could install missiles close to us.
Well,
that's why we are in Cuba now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So exactly. So it's like if they were able to install missiles in Cuba, just like we can install missiles wherever we want on that side, on Europe side, they would be like, okay,
Can you do me a favor, Lucas? And I didn't even think about this. Can you look up our prison that we have there and how? Does anyone know? Yeah, how do we get that?
I don't even know. I'm still not
Guantanamo?
too sure. Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, no, it's about it.
And when? I didn't even think about this. It's funny. I'm looking this whole thing up that never really came up. But it's actually I wasn't looking up. I was looking about Castro.
Do we still have it?
It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
Obama promised to close it. Obama promised to close it, and nobody will let him.
That's like the story, the Scarface story, for example.
Yeah.
He was in Guantanamo Bay. How do you get out of there? You kill the right people.
There you go. We'll take
a Scarface.
Take a minute to kind of formulate the story about it, and then you can kind of let us know.
I have a bit how we got it. The United States seized Guantanamo Bay and established a naval base there in 1898 during the Spanish-American War.
Oh, damn.
So they've had it forever.
Yeah. 5 years later, the U.S. and Cuba signed a lease giving Guantanamo Bay to the U.S. as a coaling and naval station.
For how long? At least
100 years.
Yeah.
Jeez. Anyway, all right, so there you go. All right, sweet. So anyway, supporters say that Castro returned Cuba to the people and praise him for some of his social programs, such as public health, education. Go ahead, Lucas.
The lease is perpetual.
Okay, so perpetual, so forever.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
All right. You think we're still paying for it?
Well, I don't think we're paying. We're not paying, that's for sure, but we're still there.
But there is an American flag that just got raised in Cuba.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. We got a Cuban flag raised here. We have an embassy here. So
yeah.
So anyway, Castro, as you were saying, he has his people that support him. Everybody has access to healthcare. Everyone has access to universities. There are people that go there to have surgeries because it's so inexpensive, but also because they have really, really good doctors.
That was before.
It's not so much anymore?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Check this out. You said illiteracy or literacy?
Illiteracy.
The illiteracy rate in Cuba was 23% in 1957.
Okay.
It's definitely not that now.
No, it's zero now.
All right. So
like there's no illiterate people there. Like he brought power to the rural areas, giving people access to electricity.
I gotta say about that. I don't. But. Yeah. They were known for their education. They were known for best doctors in the world.
Sure, that's what he just said. Like everyone's literate. There's 0% illiteracy,
but not now.
Oh, not now. It's worse now.
It's like I said. If you're a doctor and you go to school for 4 or 5 years in Cuba, you become a doctor. You're going to get $35 a month. Who the hell wants to be a doctor when you can go and serve tables at the hotel and get American money?
I'll tell you what, the people who really, really want to be doctors, not the people who are doing it just for the money. And those people are probably the ones you want working on you because they really want to be doctors.
But then when they come to the States, they can't be a doctor and you can't even do anything in Cuba.
Well, you can't even come to the States. That's the problem.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you can, but...
No, there's ways to come.
Well, yeah, obviously there are, but it's
people
not like
are risking their lives on boats
Not every single person comes in like that. That's the thing.
Well, here's the thing. The reason they're risking their boats, and let's get into some of the negative stuff that Castro is known for. And I have, let me see where I get some of this from. I told you where I cited all this from, but there is actually a Erica Guerva Rosas. But anyway, Human Rights Watch is one of several that I'm quoting here. But over more than 5 decades documenting the state of human rights in Cuba, Amnesty has recorded a relentless campaign against those who dare to speak out against Cuban's government policies and practices. Authorities have jailed hundreds of prisoners for peacefully exercising their right to freedom of expression, association, and assembly in a campaign of ruthless suppression. The state of freedom of expression in Cuba, where activists continue to face arrest and harassment for speaking out against the government, is Fidel Castro's darkest legacy. Human Rights Watch said thousands were jailed in abysmal prisons and thousands more were harassed and intimidated. Over ensuing decades, Castro used threats, jail, and banishment against critics, including intellectuals, journalists, and former allies. State media became a mouthpiece for the leader. Officials heavily censored books, newspapers, radio, television, music, and film. Only a few Cubans were trusted with full internet access. Peaceful attempts at democratic reforms, such as the Varela Project, triggered a swift crackdown, including the so-called Black Spring in 2003. You know the Black Spring? Anyone? No? So in 2003, while we were invading Iraq, basically Cuban government imprisoned 75 dissidents. They included 29 journalists, as well as librarians, human rights activists, democracy activists, on the basis that they were acting as agents of the United States by accepting aid from the U.S. government. So democracy activists, human rights activists, and librarians and stuff. So they said that these people were working for the government and decided to just throw them in jail. So 75 dissidents. And many of these abusive tactics that I was just referring to are still being used today. So please, I think this is kind of where you can come in, Marcos, with your interview.
All right. So basically, you cannot say anything in Cuba against the government. You can barely study history from other parts of the world because of the government, how they censor books, they censor television, radio.
Do they have their own books that are printed within the...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not 100%, but I'm like...
We're close
sure.
enough to make an educated guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the people that did support Castro, they are the small percentage of dictator communism, like...
There's always... Yeah,
they took care of them.
Yeah. Even all the dictators, whether it's Kim Jong-il and Saddam Hussein, they all had their people that loved them.
It's a small percentage.
Sure.
But how could it be a small... I understand it's a small percentage, but he had to have a group of people that were behind him in the beginning.
Well, if you have the power, it doesn't matter.
All right. Army. For example, his army. Let's say my father. He was 14. Anybody from the age of 15 up, you're getting into the army whether you like it or not, and he's going to force you to fight for him.
Okay.
Just like he basically...
There's a lot of countries that do that, though. There's a lot of countries that force you.
We do that.
Greece.
We have a draft, you know?
Yeah, no. We had a draft. Yeah,
If something happens...
Some countries, it's part of... Yeah, go ahead.
We still have a draft. It has not been active since Vietnam. I mean, when I turned 18, I had to sign a selective service, which is the draft card.
Me too. I remember that.
Just to register.
Scary.
Everyone has to, everyone when you get your driver's license, you have to do it. It's like it's a just in case. Nothing's ever gonna happen.
Like an organ donor.
No, I mean you don't choose organ donor, but like Korea, you have to do if you're a male, you have to do a year in the military, and then you have to go back every
not just Korea.
year.
Not just Korea. Can you do a search? Can you find out mandatory military
Islam
countries?
Islam, you have to do it. A lot of places you have to do it.
Yeah.
But
Well, Islam, is that a place? So anyway, continuing on.
Marcos knows where it is.
Yeah,
Fuck,
right?
man. Can you tell them?
Yeah, please. This whole time, the whole world had it wrong.
what's the weather in Islam right now?
Yeah, right?
Dumbass.
Do you have something, Lucas?
Yeah, there's...
Just give me the top three.
Shitload of them.
Yeah, just give me the top three with the most required years or whatever.
But for example,
Yes,
in Cuba, you turn 15, they get you in. You go into the army. You can do a 2-year service, 1 year, whatever. You don't have the option, but usually it'll be like a 2-year, 3-year, 5, whatever.
2 years I think is the norm for that.
Yeah, I think it's 2. After that, you cannot leave the country until you're 27. even after that.
You mean like go anywhere?
Anywhere. You're stuck. You're there. You can't leave.
You can't leave at all, not even to go visit?
You can't get on a boat and go a mile offshore.
What if you like are traveling?
I don't know if that's
singing group.
I don't think that's
school or
I don't think that's true, bro. Because I know somebody that's 24 right now, and he's come here like from Cuba on a plane.
Was he in the Cuban army?
Oh no! If you're in the army, you can't leave until you're 27.
Yeah.
So you don't have to join the army then.
You have to join the army.
So how are people that are not escaping through boat or some type of illegal way?
I mean, that's
getting out.
There's obviously people.
Yeah, here's the thing. Like same thing.
Dancers,
like cultural,
athletes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
the Cubans are going to want to get like people out there to show the other countries, that they have really talented people and stuff like that.
That's why people who become lawyers in Cuba, they end up serving tables or becoming dancers. Or playing baseball.
So they can get the fuck out.
Find a way. But
totally.
That's what it is. Like, I've heard stories of really good lawyers that have been going to school and they know the law like the back of their hand.
Yeah.
And what are they doing on the weekends? They're prostituting.
Damn.
They're prostituting because they can get $100. They hit up 3 guys. They get $300 in one night, which is what they would make in a year being a lawyer.
Sure.
But how does that help them get out, though? That's what I'm not trying to...
At this point, who cares about getting out? You're just trying to survive.
Okay.
Getting out is...
Getting out is on a boat, man.
If people could get out that easily, yeah, they wouldn't be trying to get on the damn boat.
If it was a country that is described by the dictator as freedom and a free, like, prosperous country, why are you risking your life to go
literally
90
risking
miles?
your life.
Literally risking, and your sons and your daughters and your kids. My father was sent alone at 14 years old to Spain.
Yeah, how did he get out? How did that happen?
My grandparents knew what was going on. So I think like 2-3 months before he turned 15, which is the age that they get you.
Yep.
They sent him to Spain all by himself and never let him come back.
Like by boat, plane?
By plane.
So basically,
they got him by plane.
Once you get into the military, then you're already in the system, and that's how they keep you from getting out.
Yes.
So before, I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So, damn, man.
Yeah, that's what I learned from my father, and he's the one who was a lot closer than anybody else that I know.
And he was there, so it was like, he left, you said, like around 65, 66, 67, something like that. So, he was definitely there when all this was going down. He was alive even.
He left in 66.
Yeah.
He went to Spain alone. And my grandparents were there from, Lord knows, the 40s, the 30s, the 20s.
Sure.
And they seen how all the regimes were conducting the country and whatnot. And they knew that when Castro came in, things were going to be a little different. Communism.
Yeah.
So they came 2 years later.
Where did they send your father?
Spain, man.
I know, but to like some friends or to like a school?
Like, how do you decide?
A school.
Okay.
They sent him to a school.
Okay.
And the thing was, he told me, he landed, he's never been alone. He's an only child.
Sure.
He landed in Spain and he's like, what the hell is this? I see lights. He don't know lights. Man, he was in Cuba. He's like, I see lights and neon lights and bars and traffic. And like, he didn't know what was going on.
Sure.
So that's the kind of atmosphere that they would throw a child into.
Yep.
And they sent him to a school or whatnot, like a kid's school. But the atmosphere they would throw him into, not knowing if he's going to be all right, because it's still better.
Well, it's better. Yeah, exactly.
You know? And then he went to Jersey, and then he came to Hialeah.
There you go.
He went to Hialeah High and whatnot.
That's
Came from Little Cuba.
Yeah.
It's like a big triangle. That's pretty awesome. It's one of those stories that you see in movies, sending your kid off, not knowing, just knowing and hoping he survives, or she survives, going to have a better life. And I hate to say it because it's nationalistic or whatever, but let's be honest, like, end up here in America, like, what better ending, what better fairy tale ending is there?
He's got a lot more to his story, but I'm not going to get into that.
Oh, that's fair. I got you.
For the most, let's say he went back after 47 years.
To Cuba?
Yes.
Okay.
He went back, I think, in 2013.
So he became a citizen here first. How did that work? Okay.
In Hialeah, he became a citizen here first. He got pushed to it, too. He wasn't going to do it. He was young. You don't need a citizenship. He's still working, making money.
Yeah, of course.
But, my grandfather was like, dude, you got to get this. You got to get
make
this.
it happen. Yeah,
and thank God he got it, because they can't deport you once you're...
Yeah, that's it. But that also means he can go to Cuba, too, and still come back.
Yeah, and more recently than lately. But so he did go in 2013, and what he told me was it was like a time warp. The same
It hasn't changed.
The same paint was on the wall, just peeling.
Yeah.
The same old lady that used to take care of him was in the rocking chair. When he left, then wouldn't come back.
Damn.
It's that weird. Like, the buildings are falling apart. The same buildings that they were building up when he was there.
We got to go, man, before it changes, because Cuba's going to change really, really quickly.
Hopefully. hopefully in a good way. I mean...
No, I mean, it'll change in a good way, but, I mean, a lot of what makes it quaint and makes it charming is going to get slowly, taken over by capitalism. It's just, that's what happens when America gets involved.
How old is his brother?
He's pretty old. I'm not too sure, but around his 80s already. It's not like he's 60.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you talking about Castro?
Castro's brother,
Raul.
So, U.S. and Cuba officially normalized relations in July 2015. Mr. Castro stepped aside in 2006 when a serious illness felled him. He provisionally ceded much of his power to his younger brother, Raul, now 85. Sorry, there it is, 85. And 2 years later, formally resigned as president. Yeah, resigned as president. Wow, only 5 years younger. Raul Castro has ruled Cuba since then, although he has been told the Cuban people he intends to resign in 2000. He has told the Cuban people he intends to resign in 2018. Fidel Castro has held on to power longer than any other living national leader except Queen Elizabeth II.
Wow. So the longest dictator / communism
National
ever.
leader,
Slash
whatever you want to
leader,
call it.
period, no matter what.
national leader, whatever. The longest communist dictator to ever rule in the world was Castro.
Yeah.
All right. So just think about that.
You know what's funny? Because Jackson was in here hanging out. We were drinking some beers and watching some TV, and we're talking about how we're going to be having our conversation. We're going to be talking about this. He's like, bro, as far as I'm concerned, and Jackson, he's pretty fucking white. He's like, as far as I'm concerned, bro, Castro won. He died at 90, bro.
Yeah, nobody killed him, bro. He died on his own. Like
That's what I'm
it.
saying. If there is a winner,
How do you not love it?
You have to.
I'm sorry, but there's people that are going to hate us for saying that, but how do you not love it?
No, but
I get it.
He retired. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sick. I'm done. I'm retiring now.
He dropped the
And
mic.
Just died.
He dropped the mic.
Yeah.
He dropped the mic.
And still hung around for another 10 years.
Did you guys
Yeah.
Did you guys see the meme with the United States?
No.
With the he said he's not going to die until the United States is ruined.
Oh, yeah, Donald Trump.
And then shows
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's so awesome. You gotta love it. So anyway, U.S. government had several attempts on Castro's life.
Only 600 and something, right?
Yeah, I mean this is according to
638.
All right.
the Cuban government. And I looked into this. A lot of these were planned things that never went into fruition. There's one time where they had the CIA had a girl who was supposed to kill him, and he actually looked at her and said, "You're here to kill me, aren't you?" And he handed her a gun, and then she didn't have the balls to do it because she was supposed to poison him. And he wooed her, and it never happened. There's other, but
The cigar.
yeah, exploding cigar. What was the one with the wetsuit you found?
Poisoned wetsuit.
Poisoned wetsuit.
What the fuck?
Does he dive? Does he go diving or something?
Yeah, he goes diving. There was also another plan.
Exploding shell, right? Yeah.
They planted, or they wanted to plant this colorful, different kind of looking conch shell.
Yeah, they would make him wow, what's this?
Yeah, so he would swim up to it, and it would blow up on him.
An exploding conch.
Yeah, exploding conch.
Oh my god.
So close.
These are 70s
so
stuff,
close
right?
to being
70s,
dirty, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Where's the Brady Bunch?
I gotta come up with some 70s music. So why didn't the conch thing happen? Do you know?
I did find it.
There's so
of
many
course,
of them that they planned, they never went through. But the government, the Cuban government, has broken it down, and this is where you really get a glimpse of how long he held power. They broke it down. The Cuban intelligence, Fabian Escalante, broke them down by administration. Eisenhower, 38 attempts. Kennedy, 42 attempts. Johnson, 72 attempts. Nixon, 184 attempts. Carter, 64. Reagan, 197. Bush Sr., 16. And Clinton, 21. I didn't know Clinton.
Bush Jr. 0. Obama 0.
Well, yeah, I mean that they know of. Yeah, Obama's.
Yeah, they just gave up on.
Yeah, I think at that point they're like, Jesus, this guy's. You know what?
If you can't
He's
beat
not
him, join
dead
him,
yet.
right?
Pretty fucking much.
If you can't beat him, join him, basically.
Jesus, he was bedridden for 19 months, unfortunately. I guess for him, whatever. Depends on the side you're on. Castro died on November 25th, 2016, at the age of 90. The ladies in white, these are women who walk the streets of Cuba in a silent protest. They decided to avoid protesting. They wanted to keep away from tensions. The group, founded by the Wives of Jailed Dissidents, has long defied a protest ban in Cuba with a weekly march, asking for the release of political prisoners for human rights to be respected. Some Cuban authorities say the ladies in white are in the pay of the United States, of course. Jesus Christ. In a form part of Washington's decades-old effort, quote-unquote, decades-old effort to undermine the Cuban Socialist Revolution. The government says there are no political prisoners in the country. Still saying that.
Yeah.
God. I mean, can you just admit it at this point?
You know?
So Raul's, 85, 86? I mean, what? I heard they're... what do they do from now? Because he's going to step down. What if he does step down? What happens? I mean, do they have a
pass
vote?
it on?
Is there,
No, you know what's going to happen?
Kids?
The other brothers, yes. It's going to be a war in Cuba.
Okay.
That's another thing. There's going to be
So
a war for
the United
power.
States is going to get involved in this, if that's the case. We will get involved.
Yeah, they
We
will.
will pick a side.
Of course they will.
And then
but,
the Russians will pick the other side, and here we go again.
But it's going to go down to the children of Castro, children of Raul. Those kids, they have power. They're there. They're leaders of governments.
Did you, by the way,
Hopefully.
Lucas, did you find countries with mandatory military?
Yes, and it's so there's several of them.
But there's so many.
Way to be ready, Lucas.
No,
Yeah,
well, I was ready.
Definitely
but
going to be.
Yeah, like an hour ago when I asked you.
He
It's
just
true.
admitted that it's his fault.
Did
He
we
forgot-
just go into the Twilight Zone?
All right, so anyway, Donald Trump.
Oh,
Go ahead.
before we get to
Before
that.
Trump? Okay, go ahead.
So basically, the kids are, I don't know about war with themselves, but there's definitely going to be battles for power.
Oh, you
somebody
think the
wants
kids
that
are going
number
to
one
fight
spot.
themselves to take over?
Yes, somebody wants that number one spot. Somebody is going to be educating themselves and trying to become the ruler, basically dictator again.
Can they do an election? Is that like part of it?
If that
that's when the U.S. comes in.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If that happens, once whoever's fighting for this power, somebody's going to come in and try to
Have an
call the
election.
peace.
Yeah.
Let's just have the peace, guys, and then you know how that goes from there.
And is it going to be a Cuban native to be president? Or are you going to have an American Cuban to be president? Or are you going to have
That's
a
interesting.
Cuban
Because if
that
you're-
came to America when he was 5 years old to go back and be president?
Alien
What are you going to
Gonzalez?
have?
If you're exiled, I
Alien
mean,
for president. Fuck it. Let's
hey,
do
he
it.
was on the news. He
Yeah,
was on
I
the
know,
news.
dude.
Yeah.
He loves
Yeah.
Castro. Dude,
And
I
Rubio.
remember-
Rubio.
Yeah,
Marco,
Marco
come on,
Rubio.
man.
That's true.
I give it about 2 more weeks before America finds oil and we have to free Cuba.
There's oil there.
There is oil?
Yeah, remember there was
All right,
oil, right?
I'm looking
Why,
at.
why aren't they free yet?
There's not oil. There can't be.
There wasn't refineries, and you say that?
I mean, if there is, it's not enough to go to war for.
Well, no.
They would have been at war.
Dude,
Yeah.
if they had that much oil, yeah, we forget it. So I'm looking at your screen there.
yeah, 'cause I
The
can-
list of it's just a really long
it's
list.
every single country.
There's a ton of countries where it's mandatory.
Where do
so-
you think they got the idea from the draft? Is this is something that's been going
With
on?
the United States?
Yeah, like when they had
Yeah.
draft before.
Well,
There's
we
just
needed
something-
You need
somebody.
people.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Necessity.
part of how countries work. Is always there's always
It's-
you have to get military. That's just how
Necessity.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, it goes back to we need people, and it's like the Minutemen.
Sure.
They're
Yeah,
civilians.
Yeah.
Like when Castro took over, basically, all right, he came with 81 people. He ended up with 20. He went to the farms where they were making sugarcane, the farms that were doing this in those mountains, and he mandatorily recruited
That's
them.
not
Yeah.
I mean,
Basically.
Hey,
You got 6 sons? I got 6 soldiers.
and all of us are going to help protect you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Protect, right?
Yeah.
Basically.
It's like when the mob comes up to your store, it's like, hey, we're going to need some money for your protection.
I got an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure the people that first joined him are probably high up in the
But wouldn't honestly, a bunch of guys come up with guns and this and that, blah blah, in the middle of the mountains and this and that? I think.
Are
most
you
people-
joining or not?
I think
we're joining.
Yeah.
pretty much. Sure.
I'll rape your wife and
Will
kids.
you guys help us? With the sugar? Sure. You give us some of the profit? Sure. I think it's a win-win.
Yeah, but he didn't care about no sugar, man.
No, he didn't. He cared about power, but
Yeah.
still, I mean, you win. We just proved it here in the United States. You win the power of the farmers. You win the power of the people.
Yeah.
You don't need to win the powers
Exactly.
in Havana and this and that. Those are the people that are going to put you in power. The people like the middle of America
Yep.
who put Trump into power,
Exactly what I was telling you earlier.
even
how-
though he didn't win the popular vote.
and like the people with
until they
Hitler.
recount.
Well, let's see.
And hey, scratch
Only-
that. But anyways,
illegals got the vote. That's
Yeah,
why
whatever.
a million illegals voted. That's why I didn't win the popular vote.
Whatever.
but yeah, like I was
Even-
saying, so
So
the farmers,
stupid.
the people that own the farming communities over there, farming tobacco,
Yep.
farming sugarcane, which was the top of the world at that point.
Yeah.
And
Especially the rum. I didn't even think of that.
yeah, so let's say you have 80 acres, right? You have 300 employees. Castro came in and said, all you 300 employees, you're going to get your own acre. You're going to
Boom.
get your own this. And you know who owns that?
You have a car, and
Yeah.
you get a car. Everybody gets a car.
You can plant whatever
That's
you want
where
on
Oprah
there.
got her idea from. Damn, Oprah, look at you, bro.
She's a
Dick taker.
She's a dick taker.
You know, my father said one of my father's favorite jokes as a kid is like, hey, or when I was a kid, was like, hey, Seth, do you know why Saddam Hussein cut a hole in a potato and put his penis in there? And I was like, why? Dad? He wanted to be a dictator. It's like, thanks, Dad.
Wow.
Boom.
That's where you get your jokes from?
Tater tot.
Your dad was way up here before Seth. Way up here.
Yeah, but when you're like 10 years old, 11 years old, that's some funny shit.
It is.
So basically, you have 300 farmers, right?
Yep.
And you have one farm owner. You tell the 300 farmers they get their own land and fuck that farm owner, right?
That's it.
What do you think? You take one away, you got 300.
It's kind of like what they did with Burgundy. Like with Burgundy, you own land. It was Napoleon. He's basically like, if you own land in Burgundy for wine, when you die, you have to leave it to your sons. You have to. So no matter what, like, you know, so the sons will work hard. But what's funny is now you have people that literally own like 5 vines because they keep splitting it and splitting it and splitting it.
Wow.
And it's crazy. It's gotten a little bit ridiculous, but it's a similar situation because, yeah, like you said, you will work harder also.
Yeah.
To because it's yours.
But it is now the government's because the owner doesn't own it anymore. He's not paying you $2 an hour. Now the government is supposed to pay you $2 an hour, but he decided to put you on a rationing.
There you go.
So now, whatever you wanted to plan, whatever he told you that you can freely plan,
You can't.
You can't. And he is going to take over all the land. And guess what? He don't care about sugar. So fuck your land. And now you are in the rationing.
So what do
book.
people grow there now? Is it mainly sugar still, or are there other?
There's a lot of tobacco. A lot of them are just dead farms. A lot of cattle because they need food.
Yeah.
Cattle, chickens,
Sure.
things like that
I
they
gotcha.
eat. You know, a lot of fishing, a lot of like the land. I don't
Yeah,
even
they
know
grow
what it's
they
used
grow
for.
fish. I got you.
Nah, the land I don't know what it's used.
Do
for,
they
whatever,
export
like-
anything?
No,
I
they
mean,
can't. It's called
they
a
can
trade
export to
embargo.
they can't export to here.
Well,
but
I mean,
they would not be able to make it this
rum,
long.
cigars.
Canadians get cigars all the
Yeah,
time.
they do.
Like, you know,
Sure.
they get the Havana Club all the time. So yeah, they can send it out, but just not to the U.S. That's
So
all.
anyway, Donald Trump, he had. Do you guys follow him on Twitter? Like, it's just so entertaining.
No.
How do you not? I didn't have Twitter for a while, but since I started the podcast, I followed him. I probably would have followed Obama. I never did because I didn't have Twitter. But anyway, this is all on Twitter over the course of several tweets. Today, the world marks the passing of a brutal dictator who oppressed his own people for nearly 6 decades. Fidel Castro's legacy is one of firing squads, theft, unimaginable suffering, poverty, and the denial of fundamental human rights. While Cuba remains a totalitarian island, it is my hope that today marks a move away from the horrors endured for too long and towards a future in which the wonderful Cuban people finally live in the freedom they so richly deserve. Though the tragedies, death, and pain caused by Fidel Castro cannot be erased, our administration will do all it can to ensure the Cuban people can finally begin their journey towards prosperity and liberty. I join the many Cuban Americans who support me greatly in the presidential campaign, including the Brigade 2506 Veterans Association that endorsed me with the hope of one day soon seeing a free Cuba. Dude, does he always have to throw shit like that in there?
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, by the way, these people endorsed me and, you know, I just want to substantiate the fact that I can actually see. Dude, you're the president of the United States. You've been substantiated.
Shout out to the Cubans.
Yeah,
basically.
right. Well, yeah, but he's like, you know, and I just want to make sure the wonderful Cuban people and this and that. But he's like, the Veterans Association that endorsed me. It's like, bro, we don't care who endorsed you anymore. You're the president.
That's why he has to do it, though. I mean, because they whatever they did, he has to.
He needs
shout them
people
out.
to know.
He needs
Yeah.
to shout them out.
Yeah, that's true.
Shout out.
That's why.
Fair enough.
It is what it is. Like prescribed spirits.
Too late, I guess. That's
Damn
too
it.
late. Too late.
The one time I lean back and I miss it.
Lean back. That's what you get, you lazy bitch.
Leaning ass.
Hey.
That's right.
Cuba 32% of Cuba's exports goods are sent to China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
To China. That's a long. Well, I guess. Well, that's a long ways.
And they export to Venezuela, Netherlands, Canada, Spain, and Brazil.
Okay.
You know, another little side note.
What do they export? Can you look that up real fast?
The majority
Cigars and rum.
Yeah,
rolled
besides that.
tobacco,
Yeah.
Yeah.
refined petroleum, raw sugar,
Yeah.
nickel
Okay.
matter,
Nickel. Okay.
citrus,
Thanks.
coffee,
Thanks for taking my job.
Coffee. Cuban coffee for sure. That'd
Coffee.
be great. Get some coffee from Cuba.
and they do services, doctors, healthcare personnel,
Prostitutes. Yeah, all that.
I know. Yeah, they do definitely send their doctors out. That's for sure.
I don't know if this is telling us they do import from Cuba as well. No, from America. Sorry, they import.
They do.
Medical supplies and stuff like that.
Construction supplies, things like
Yeah.
that.
80%
There's ways around the
80%
embargo
of
that
their
we have.
food comes from outside.
80%?
80% of their
Wow.
food comes
Damn.
is imported.
They better like stop planting tobacco and maybe plant some more. You know?
No, they ration.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, all right, check this out.
Go ahead.
Speaking of rationing, my father found a little book from when he came back. And little example.
A book from Cuba for like when he went to visit?
A rationing book that they give you in Cuba to every single
Is this like something like for the year?
Yeah.
Or?
Oh, listen, this is just a couple little examples. There's different ones, though. But bread, you get 1 loaf a day. A quart of oil, you get 1 a month. 6 eggs a week. Rice, you get 6 pounds for the month. And beans, you get 4 pounds for the month.
1 loaf a day. What is it?
1 loaf a day, 6 eggs. A quart of petroleum? What the hell?
A quart of oil, yeah.
Oil a month?
Cooking oil or oil?
No, not cooking oil.
Petroleum for like heat.
Okay.
Your heat, your car, whatever. Anyways. But, also, milk. You get a gallon of milk a month if you have a kid that's under 7 years old. Once he turns over 7, no more milk. Done.
Damn.
And
So
that's an example.
Okay. Damn. And this is all damn. So do you pay for that or does it come for free?
That's your free. That's what
Automatic
Castro
free.
said.
Okay.
No, there's no paying. You don't get money to buy things.
Okay.
You get $35 a month.
Yeah.
A bag of rice is $7-8. You're not like it just doesn't happen.
Unbelievable. See, I did not
If they let you buy the rice, they won't let you buy the
I didn't know there's rationing going on there.
Yeah,
at that
there's
time.
rationing.
So, I mean, is it still going on to this day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. You're not talking about monetary amounts that can gain more, weight in currency. Like, $1 now is worth $5. A loaf of bread's a loaf of bread, whether it's 2010 or fucking, 1800. So there's really not a wow. That's crazy.
Doesn't it matter?
You can't send too much money to someone in Cuba as well.
So how does
right?
that work? Does it get delivered? Do you go to the store and they check some shit off?
Yeah, you go to the WIC.
Wow.
The wick.
You go to the
Seth does not know what the wick is.
I do not.
What?
I don't.
Of course not.
White
What do you-
boy.
If you have
A
someone
WIC
pregnant,
is a
Women-
food card. What is it?
Oh, like food
It's
stamps?
food
yeah,
stamps.
it's not
Yeah.
food stamps. It's not food stamps. It's
Okay.
different from food stamps.
It's a little different.
Every pregnant woman and anyone who has a child of under 2 and under gets like a paper
Yeah.
where you get certain things like milk, formula, cereal, stuff like
Peanut
that
butter.
to make sure that your kid eats.
That's
so like
cool.
there's no like excuse for your kid. Like, why didn't your kid eat? Like, you don't have to eat, but there's always something for everyone. No matter
I
what,
gotcha.
no matter how much money you have, no matter how poor you are, how rich you are, you get it. You get it like a little pink paper, and then you go to the grocery store and cross. But it's a pain in the ass to get that shit though. Like, it's impossible.
Yeah,
the mother of my daughter had to get WIC.
There you go.
I know Lucas knew about WIC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stands for Women, Infants, and Children.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
So that if you're pregnant,
So
or you
what
have a
about
kid.
that white boy comment?
I knew Lucas. No, Lucas, I knew you.
I don't know shit
what?
about that.
I knew
What?
you knew about WIC
And how?
Any
because you lived in a town that had 200
fucking
people.
horses and buggies and shit.
Yeah, I knew you know about WIC.
I didn't know about
Jesus.
WIC
You
until
probably had
my
rations out there,
my
too.
kid's mom was pregnant.
No, we still have the rations from World War II.
So anyway, any last minute thoughts before we take a little bit of a break? Do we think where do we think things go from here? Do you?
I got a quick one.
Go
All
ahead.
right, speaking of where we go from here.
Sure.
Trump is a construction icon, right? That's
No
what
doubt.
he does.
Absolutely.
He builds things.
Oh, bro, he's going to be
He
all over
builds
that shit.
buildings. He builds casinos. He builds people.
I think it would be great if you let us into your country to build some stuff, and we'll let you export more stuff to the United States. Thank you.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
It'll be tremendous.
That is going to be the beginning of positive turns for Cuba, I feel.
I just
mean,
hope that they leave certain areas of Cuba the fuck alone, where it can stay quaint and stay charming and stay the way it is, and then find your commercial areas that you can exploit all you want.
the beaches in Cuba are something like nothing else in the world.
I
They
believe.
haven't
can-
been touched. Nobody's
Yeah.
been fucking
Yeah,
it.
Water
yeah,
milk
you
can
can go there.
Water up to your neck, and you can see your toes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
but nobody's
So-
fucking it over there, bro. Nobody's coming over there doing all types of disgusting things
Yeah.
and putting and like there's not ships and crap. Like it's not like our beach is not. It's a nice beach, but I mean, it's like when you go to Bahamas.
Sure.
It's like when
Pristine.
you go when that cab driver takes you to like the beach that nobody goes to. It's like it's
They don't resand Cuba.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
they don't
exactly.
have to do
That sand is just
That's
there.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. So, any other thoughts? No.
see,
I feel like things are going to get better. I hope so. I hope relations just open up. Hope Raul kind of chills out a little bit, or the person that takes over him just like opens things back up and comes to the light, and Because it'd be great. I'd love to go down there and visit for sure, man.
You can. Actually, right now, you can.
But you know, I looked into it. There's different rules. You have to make sure you're doing cultural stuff. You're literally not allowed to go to the beach because that's not considered cultural. There's all kinds of different laws. And you have to buy like a permit and
They have
get
a cruise
insurance.
ship. They have a cruise ship right now that goes to Cuba and back.
Yeah, but you can't go everywhere. You have to go wherever the cruise.
Yeah, you
people
gotta-
let
That's
go.
all right, though. It's a
That's fine.
start.
That's start. That's
They
fine.
dictate where you go.
Yeah, it's a start though. So, dork. Anyway, all right, that's pretty much it. We're gonna take a break and we're gonna get into Kanye. We're gonna get into Harry Potter, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and of course, Lucas's weather. Yes. Boom.
Sit down, Guala.
Have a seat, fucking mouthaholic.
Guala, come on. You're worse than Ricky right now.
Remember, I said you're not allowed to be drunk by the end of the show.
Too late. That was sad.
That shit goes
that
full
was,
circle.
that
That
was
was
pretty good,
perfect.
bro. That was actually right on pitch.
I thought that was Seth for a second.
That was Seth. My voice did not go that loud.
Yeah, right.
Right on pitch or right on bitch?
Anyways, bullies, all I
Yeah,
was really
right
trying
on
to say.
bitch is right. Anyway,
right.
go ahead.
All I was trying to say was you should have the Kanye rant word by word. Not the dumb words.
Which one? How
The
many?
last one.
The one with like against Beyonce or the one on stage?
That's the same one.
Okay, that's because I don't have the word for word on that, but I know why he was upset.
What about the one
Oh,
on
I
the
don't know why he's
did you-
upset.
I know why too.
All right, so anyway, let's before we do that, we're gonna get together. Hold on, let me get this because I want to go Facebook Live with Lucas's weather here.
Real quick, did you guys
Nice.
see Kanye's rant on the Ellen DeGeneres show?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I
That
totally
was a
watched the
while
Ellen
ago.
DeGeneres show.
You know who she is, bro.
Are we really
I don't
having
get
this
what I don't
conversation
get where
right
you're
now?
going with this.
Can we just get on with the fucking weather?
We're waiting for you, bro.
Weather,
Oh.
Lucas.
Weather.
So what do we have for the weather this week? Why don't you look into the camera for this one?
All right, how about this? Real quick, do we have any listens in the Philippines?
Yeah. We do have listens in the Philippines,
All right, then
actually.
this is perfect.
Pretty much every episode.
I'm part
We-
Filipino, by the way.
Are you really?
Yeah.
All right.
My mom.
So here we go. Philippines.
Philippine. We have Sex Moon Philippines.
Lovely.
Sex moan.
It's. I found a description. It's quiet during the day, but noisy at night.
Oh my God. Sex. Can you please spell that for the listeners and me?
We have SEX
Yes.
MOAN. Sex Moan.
I think English is one of their languages over there.
Wow. Okay.
I can look that up afterwards.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So Sex moan, Philippines. Go for it, Lucas.
Today, December 1st, partly cloudy with a high of 89, lows 76, with the winds coming out of the east-northeast at 8 miles per hour.
Okay.
Friday, December 2nd, mostly sunny, high of 88, low 75, precipitation at 20%. Winds out of the northeast at 11 miles per hour.
I'd say it's pretty nice weather. I mean, 20% means a nice little shower come by to cool you down.
Maybe.
Wasting it up.
Yeah, because I mean, 89 degrees. It's a little warm, but a nice little shower.
Saturday, December 3rd, mostly sunny, high of 89, low of 76, precipitation at 10%, with the winds coming out of the northeast at 12 miles per hour.
Laz is watching you live as we record live.
Oh, shit,
That-
I gotta put it on.
that's-
Yeah.
We have some Inception shit going on here.
Yeah, we do. Totally. Yeah, right. Seriously. Go ahead.
Sunday, December 4th, partly cloudy with a high of 90, low of 76, 10% chance of rain with the winds coming out of the northeast at 9 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Monday, December 5th, partly cloudy with a high of 89, low of 75 with a 20% chance of precipitation with the winds coming out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour.
Wow. Not much, pretty much the same every day.
Yeah.
A little bit of rain, possibly. Kind of
And
warm.
I neglected to put this in, but humidity stays between 64 and 69%.
I have to say, with weather like that, I don't know where the moanings come from. That's for sure. Because it sounds
'cause
like
they're all
boring sex
inside.
to me.
It's hot and moist most of the
Yeah,
time.
well,
All right, hot and moist.
It's hot
Okay.
and moist.
Friday at 69% humidity.
Ooh,
It's going to be really moist.
that's why there's so many Filipinos all over the place.
All right, so I get right. Seriously. All right, so I guess that's it. Sex moan in the Philippines.
Sex moon.
Sex moan in the Philippines. Thank you very much, Lucas, with the weather. So I guess with that, really quickly, Laz, you were talking about someone you had spoken to, how they just came over from Cuba not that long ago, and he was lamenting how over there things were just a little bit easier for him. So why don't you go ahead and just...
Yeah, this is young kid I work with. He's not he's younger than us. He's
Sure.
24. He's been there for about 3 years. He's going to school, working. He says when a lot of times he's like he has to get off early because he has to study or do like random things, and he's like, and I was asking him, I'm like, yo, so I know you're from Cuba. You've been here for a few years. He's like, yeah. People ask him a lot of like random questions. He's like, yo, he learned English in Cuba. He got his education in Cuba, and when he was in Cuba getting all his education and stuff, he didn't have to work and he didn't have to do as much as he has to do here. And he was saying that it was a little easier for him. He had family helping him while he was in Cuba that lived here. He was just saying that it was easier for him to live while he was in Cuba to do the things that he wants to do. He's not lazy at all. Like because I wanted to know like how people who actually live there, how they feel about things. I mean, I know your father's older. He was there a long time ago, and I know the country's behind because of all the economical things and the embargo and all that stuff. So like,
Yeah,
it's kind of.
But there still are people that really know how to make money over there. And like, for example, somebody who has 5 horses and he takes tourists on horse rides and he makes $50 each. He's a very well-off man in Cuba. He's not lazy, still works hard, but that's somebody that'll be very well-off and that doesn't get hit as hard from the rationings and things like that,
I mean, in any place you go or anywhere you live, it's all about like the hustle that you have in you in the first place. So if you can hustle, you can. If you can't, you can't. I mean, like, it is what it is.
But it's always easier with your family around.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
But I'm not a fan I'm not a fan of Castro or not a fan. Like, I mean, I don't.
You're not a fan?
You're ambivalent.
I personally don't give a flying fuck about him. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm Haitian, and whenever things happen in Haiti, Haiti and Cuba are like, you know what I mean? If you look at the map,
neighbors.
they're like fingertips apart. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
And he always sends doctors and supplies and stuff like that for whenever there's anything going on as far as aid. And my country's a pretty fucked up country, which has a democracy.
Yep.
And, like, not because of somebody taking over everything. It's just like it's just people coming in there raping the land and not giving a fuck about whatever's going on. Like, but I mean, it's you have a place that's free that are damaging themselves, and then you have a place that had bureaucracy, like, have a dictatorship, and they are totally like the same thing. Some people are oppressed, some people are not.
I feel you.
And as far as in Cuba, as far as like being like African American, apparently from what I've heard, I don't know anybody personally, that it's pretty much the same for everybody over there. Like, as far as like, if you're black or if you're light skinned or if you're whatever, you're yellow, you're basically
you're all under. Yeah.
You're all in the same fucking playing field. Like, instead of like when you go certain places, which I'm not. I hate to bring the race things anywhere, but it's like it is there. Everybody's good over there, and people will always say like, do you ever see black Cubans over here complaining? There's not really any black Cubans.
I mean, there's Chinese Cubans,
but there's a whole bunch of black Cubans in Cuba. So it's like they're just like, oh, this is what it is, whatever. I mean, like. It is. I mean, because it's treated fairly,
and it's the freedom that they take away from them: freedom of speech, freedom of protest. They take that away. Over here, everybody has the freedom.
Yeah.
So if the black community in Cuba was being treated wrong or treated different, they can, get together and do. No, it's not happening. Yeah. But if it happens here, they can. Over there, it's like if they start treating the Chinese population in Cuba wrong, they're not going to unite and like,
over
whatever.
there, it's just you're just people.
It's just
over
you're
there.
all just
Yeah,
the same.
totally.
But equally,
I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with Cuba. I mean, like I don't know enough about it. Even what we read, we can't figure. We only know what we're allowed to know, basically. So
much.
it's like you really can't form a real opinion about it. You're the only person that can really form an opinion about it because you interviewed your father. You know what I mean? Like it's like he's been through it. He's went back. He's seen it exactly how he left it, and that's what it is. That's the truth.
I mean, but you're in the perfect place in the world right now to be able to get opinions from people.
Okay, we got to move on.
Move on for sure. You brought it back
seriously.
up. I was gonna let it go, but I mean, like,
no, it's all good. No, I mean, it's a conversation we were having, off the mics, and I thought it'd be a good one to have here, so it's perfect. So anyway, we're gonna move into Kanye, and the reason we're bringing this up is because he was stuck in I could say stuck. He was admitted into the hospital. He was in there for a long time, and he just got out today, which is good. It kind of the plot thickens, if you will. I thought he would still be in. But anyway, Kanye is still in the hospital. And it's funny. I got a lot of my information from the LA Times, but I'm also citing TMZ and Perez Hilton, which I never thought, in my professional journalism career, I'd ever be
when you brought
citing
up Kanye?
TMZ and Perez Hilton. So, but anyway, according to law enforcement, cops responded to a call for a welfare check on Kanye around 1:20 p.m. Pacific time. He was at his trainer Harley Pasternak's home acting erratically. By the time paramedics arrived, Kanye was calmer, but still against going to the hospital. Everyone, including his management and law enforcement, convinced him it was best to go. Kanye was handcuffed to a gurney during transport to the hospital as standard protocol. The hospital comes after Kanye abruptly canceled the rest of his St. Pablo tour and talked shit, basically, about Jay-Z and Beyonce at a concert in Sacramento, pissed because Beyonce said she wouldn't only perform in the 2006 VMAs if she won Video of the Year for Formation.
That was in 2006?
No, 2016.
There you go.
16. What did he say to
basically
Beyonce?
said, Beyonce, that's messed up.
Okay.
Jay-Z, don't send your boys at me.
Okay.
But Beyonce, it's kind of messed up that this has to happen, that you got to tell MTV that you're not going to perform if you do not win.
I'm with him on that.
It's called control. Control that you only know behind the curtain.
I have to agree with that. I mean, that is pretty messed up. I mean, especially when you want to think that her fans would want her to perform no matter what.
When is that awards? Did it already pass?
It's in September.
Okay. It was in September?
The beginning of September.
It passed.
So did she win?
Of course.
Yeah, she won.
She performed. Yeah, she won.
Okay. So,
yeah. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
So-
I wonder if the reason she won was, do you think they'd give her the award because they want her to perform that much?
Yes.
Okay, so there you go.
This was fucked up, but like
I didn't really think that, but apparently
100%,
what
yes.
about you, Lucas? What?
What?
All right, your vote
are you
doesn't
looking up?
count, so I'm outvoted. All right.
no,
forget
but
it.
like definitely, I mean,
yeah, thanks.
because
thanks.
MTV wants that money for her to perform, they're fucking putting her ass in there.
Exactly.
Ethically, MTV does not give a fuck about ethics.
Yeah.
All right,
They don't care about ethics.
Well,
You know
she
what I mean?
won. There you go.
Of course.
So
Duh.
do you think that's why he lashed out?
One of them.
Okay.
Because he did say, hey, I did my Beyonce favorite video, Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah.
Because
But I
he
still
actually-
think it's messed up.
because he actually thought she should have won, and then she ended up winning like best of overall, and that same thing when he went on the rant.
Yeah, that was the Taylor Swift thing. I remember. Yeah.
So it's like,
So it's like, okay, so he substantiates the fact that he's pissed at her for this because he really stuck up for her before. That makes sense. Anyway, so all that shit happened. He pretty much lost his mind. They called for a check. They eventually was talked into going to the hospital by his management and everybody and his friends. And interesting, I have a couple quotes. Well, convinced, whatever you want to talk to.
he could have left anytime he wanted, even though like he got willed in with the I don't even want to say
Are
handcuffs.
you sure he could have left whenever he wanted?
he could have left.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think
he
so.
left today, but he could have left a couple days ago. He just decided to stay.
His physician was the one who was going to take charge of him, and his physician was the one who
called
said he wasn't-
911.
and said he wasn't ready.
Yep.
He was supposed to go out on Monday. His physician didn't think so.
He did not feel safe in the hospital.
No, dude. Well, here we go. So with regards to his behavior, this has been going on for years, a source told People magazine. In the past, when Kanye seemed to struggle, no one took it too seriously. The attitude was more like it was just Kanye being Kanye. Sources involved with the situation told the Times, LA Times, last week that it had taken 2 hours to persuade Yeezy to agree to a hospitalization, ostensibly for dehydration and sleep deprivation. Since he's been there, sources told TMZ he's also dealt with depression and paranoia. Support from wife Kim Kardashian has been keeping West together for a long time now.
I heard that.
And her absence from him during his St. Pablo tour, while she dealt with the aftermath of the armed robbery, has had an effect. Last week, an insider had explained to People that West was used to leaning on Kim since she has her own issues to deal with. Kanye has had to stay strong to support Kim, and it looks like he didn't handle it very well. So that's what they're saying is like, you know, Kim has been his rock, and without his rock, he pretty much lost his marbles.
Well, she's with him now. Like, she's been taking really good care of him in the hospital and whatnot. But I mean,
yeah,
man.
pretty much.
But that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And who's they?
Yeah.
And who knows? And whatever.
I mean,
I feel Jay-Z and like control behind curtain kind of things, and he went off on a rant. He might have been a little crazy, but
he might have been.
he spoke truth.
He tried.
Yeah, he spoke truth, but yeah, you're a dork.
I mean, like Jay. Basically, he's came up through Jay-Z. I mean, he's been making songs and producing music from them.
Yeah, but Jay-Z isn't the guy out there making an ass out of himself.
No, Jay-Z's the one behind the curtains making sure that
Whoever
plays on the radio, he knows that they're playing on the radio.
You say the wrong thing, you're going to be in your hospital. I don't know why. I mean, like...
You know why he's not dead? Because he said live in front of everybody, Jay-Z, don't kill me. That's why he's not dead. That's why he's in a hospital.
So maybe that's why he has paranoia, because he realized how much he fucked up.
He fucked up.
Time.
I mean, like, as much... I'm not a big celebrity. I'm even, like not surprised, but I didn't even think we'd be talking about this.
Yeah,
but it's just like
I told you we we're gonna.
Yeah,
talk about
I know that. But I mean, like when you text me like Kanye, I'm like Kanye, whatever. Like it's interesting. It's popular right now, so I'm like, whatever, we'll do it.
Sure. Well,
but
I waited. I wanted to make sure because I told you on Sunday.
Yeah, you told me like a couple days ago.
Yeah, because I was like, all right, he's still in the hospital. All right, we got to talk about this.
So it's like, but you know, it's Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're like basically the whatever of everything right now.
Fucking Queen Bee and shit.
Yeah, Queen and King of exactly. And they own shit and they do everything.
They have their own troubles too, though. You remember that video where Beyonce's sister basically whipped his ass?
Yeah. Hey, and she made a whole. Then she made a whole video CD. How many people made a video CD,
bro?
You know what I mean, like exactly like.
Oh, another thing Kanye said. He was angry that Jay-Z didn't let him make a video album of the Pablo album.
Well, can't he just make his own?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
But he can stop.
Jay-Z is Kanye. The reason Kanye exists is because of Jay-Z.
Yeah, I get
Not because of that, but like
Kanye's out of his fucking mind, and he has been ever since his mother died. His mother was the one who kept him from going off the deep end. Once she died, he pretty much lost it. He's been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And after all the shit that he said and done and this and that, and still gotten away with it, I would imagine he can make his own fucking video CD or whatever.
By the way, it was his mom's death or funeral anniversary when this thing happened.
Okay, so there you go.
Understandable.
Okay, so there you go. There you go, because that was the very moment he started to fucking lose it. That was
he's
it.
Speaking truth, man.
Yeah, man. So Kim Kardashian has been reportedly been by West Side nearly nonstop since she jetted home from New York City a week ago, skipping what was to have been her first public appearance since the robbery. She reportedly spent most of Thanksgiving with West before heading out for dinner at sister Kylie Jenner's place, where the rest of the family gathered for the holiday. She said the U.S. Weekly source said Kim wouldn't leave his side except to see the kids. Although he was struggling, wife Kim Kardashian has been by his side and she acts very concerned. She says he has yet to be diagnosed, but she uses words like paranoia and explained that Kanye thinks everyone is out to get him. The only person Kanye trusts is Kim. Kim spends hours with Kanye every day. She says that Kanye is on many different medications and that his doctors are figuring the proper doses. Kim says that not much has changed since he was admitted and that doctors seemed concerned.
It's the Kardashian curse.
So,
whoa.
Dan, seriously.
Damn.
No, I mean like...
RK Odom, who else we got?
They knew it was coming.
I mean,
They knew it was
we
coming.
had Lucas had
Hold on,
something
let me look up the
very
code.
good.
I don't think I'll say Kylie. She's pretty hot, but the rest of them are they're just not.
I
for
mean,
me.
They're
she's
cursed.
hot. She's hot now.
No, well, that's the thing. I never thought Kim was hot. I never thought any of them were that hot.
That's because
So-
you don't like booty.
That's
No, it's
true.
not even about that.
I mean, I don't
I mean-
like big booty. That's for sure.
All I did was
wouldn't
look
mind
up
exaggerating the large.
Kardashian curse, and there's multiple websites.
Oh,
code.
well, so, okay. So when you actually get a list of guys that are involved, let us know
Lamar
for sure.
Odom.
There's a couple. We
I
can
already-
name a couple
I
right
already
now.
said Odom, so what else we got?
Odom, you got Kylie, which the Daddy Jenner?
Yeah.
Daddy Mommy Jenner,
Okay,
whatever.
they turned into a woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, the other
are we
one
going to
is
put him on the list or her on the list?
Well, I have facts now. The
Odom we got.
Kardashian
We
curse.
already got Odom. We already
Lamar
got
Odom.
Go ahead.
Scott
Odium.
Disick.
Yeah, Scott. That guy.
Now in
Who's that?
rehab for at least a sixth time. Scott Dickinson has been a party animal for years and can't avoid his share of the blame for his own choices in life. Who cheats on the mother of the children? Blah blah blah.
Okay.
Number 2.
So
What's number 3?
So, okay.
Chris Humphries.
Oh, Humphrey.
Number 2.
Okay. Oh, he was the
Oh,
basketball
yeah,
player. All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
He married her, right? And then what was it? They try to get it annulled because she didn't really love him or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
for a whole 72 days they were married.
Yeah. Do you remember what happened with that? I remember that.
What's the other guy's name?
And Kanye was like,
Damn,
I'm going to have Jay-Z kick you off the team.
No,
His
dude.
NBA career flamed out almost as quickly as his marriage.
Go ahead. Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what it states.
Who's the next? Who's
Down
the next?
here.
Brody Jenner,
Yeah, we got the Jenner.
Ray J.
Ray J. I don't know. I feel like he didn't.
Yeah.
Ray J
really
made it
do
happen,
anything.
bro.
Yeah.
He
Ray J
started the
started
He had
greatest
his
shit.
whole show and shit. Seriously.
Yeah, Ray J did it.
Anybody else? What else? We got?
Rob Kardashian.
Well, okay.
Who the fuck is him?
Well, he's one of the brothers
That's
or something.
O.J.
O.J.
Simpson's lawyer.
Simpson?
Lawyer.
O.J.
Oh, yeah, he
Simpson?
died.
O.J.
He
Simpson's
died.
lawyer.
That's the daddy that died.
Oh,
That was
really?
O.J. Simpson's lawyer.
Tyga.
Okay. Tyga. I don't
Tyga?
remember.
Tyga?
Tyga Man.
Tyga.
He did
Tiger Man.
All right.
Caitlyn Jenner's number 9.
All right. So, I think we got it. So,
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I forgot about the basketball player. Was it Humphreys?
Yeah.
Went to the Brooklyn Nets that Jay-Z owned.
Yeah. I'll have Jay-Z kick you out. I was like, no. It's like, Jay-Z, don't kill me, please. All right. So, yeah, that's
Now
pretty
it's
much
like
it.
Jay-Z.
So, he's out. Did you guys, can you just do a quick Kanye out of the hospital search and see if there's any new news or anything about what he might have been diagnosed with, Lucas? So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, hopefully he recovers and everything works out. There was a video of Dave Chappelle when he was in the actor's studio.
TMZ 9 hours ago.
Okay.
Kanye checks out of the hospital.
Yeah.
We got
Do
that
you
one.
think that's credible enough? TMZ?
Yeah, dork.
I mean, for this
I said, is
situation,
there
yeah.
anything new? We already know he checked
Yeah.
out of the hospital. You're butting into my story with shit we already know.
God damn.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I could be like going through my story while you're doing this searching, Dick for Munch.
Dick for months.
Yeah, that's right. Keep searching.
He goes so ham on
That's
him,
right.
kid. I'm gonna come up with notes just for jokes for Seth only. Like, not for myself because he doesn't go in on me, but like he goes in on this one. Like,
Dude, he just went in
don't be a
so
dick.
hard right now. Like,
so bad,
don't
so
be a
bad.
dick.
All I could do is like, don't be a dick.
Oh, dude, he interrupts my story.
I'm not
Tell
ready
me
for- I'm not
that
ready.
We
I'm
already
not
know that.
That's all you got, though.
That's all he has. That's all,
All
he
right.
has.
So anyway, fans are outraged by Johnny Depp's casting in the second Fantastic Beasts. And I got this from Heat Street and CNET. I'm getting some
Is
of my
this the Harry
information.
Potter one?
This is the Harry Potter
Oh,
one.
shit, we're there?
Dude, people are pissed. So Melissa, I guess Annelie, Anelli, board president of the Harry Potter Alliance. So actually, they're really cool. They are a fan activist group, though. So what they do is, they're fans of Harry Potter, but they go out and do like cool, like good stuff for the community. Thinks casting news about Depp is being revealed now, more than 2 weeks before the film's premiere, to test fans' reaction to Depp's role in light of Heard's allegations of verbal and physical abuse. Heard would be his I guess ex-wife or whatever. There's a lot of shit going around, and he had his issues with verbal abuse and sexual abuse, and both of them retracted, saying we had a very passionate relationship, which I guess is another way of putting it. But yeah, like fans are really pissed off that Johnny Depp got casted in this role. And they're calling on J.K. Rowling. In fact, mindful of Harry Potter creator J.K. Rowling's record on anti-bullying and calling out misogynists, fans have stepped up their opposition to the casting by urging a boycott of the film. So there's been a lot of talk about the fact they might have even sneaked him into the one that's coming out soon. But yeah, like people are pretty pissed off. So
I mean, come on, man.
They'll
First
still
off,
go see it, bro.
It's things.
They will, of course, eventually. Sure.
Relationships, dude. Relationship woes. Some people have spicy relationships. Some people have crazy. Whatever.
Some people have boring ass dull relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this guy and this girl, the chemistry was off the chain, and it got a little crazy. You talk to them at a certain point, they're gonna say something else at a later point because they finally calmed down and chilled.
Or they finally realized that they were both guilty.
Exactly.
Equally guilty.
Equally guilty.
I mean, I don't know. We're just, I'm just saying,
I'm just saying, I don't know much about it.
This is not the first time we had something with a movie or talent, and I just feel like if it's something just for entertainment, let the people and the actors and the artists live their lives, man.
It's their job.
Have there been any other issues with Johnny Depp? I don't remember hearing any.
None. I don't really remember.
I feel like this is a first-time offender here.
As an actor or as a person?
As a person.
As a person.
No, I mean,
as an actor.
As an actor, who
As
cares?
an actor, he's awesome.
Let him act. If the other things like the same thing with like, are you not gonna go see the Brad Pitt movie because of the he was drinking
Because he got divorced?
Got a divorce, and
Yeah.
it was because he was a drunk.
No,
or,
I mean, if you're a Brad Pitt fan, you're a Brad Pitt fan.
like that's why I don't like. I like Johnny Depp. I don't give a fuck what he did. For like, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, sure, yeah, like you know what I mean? Like,
okay, not anything, but I understand.
I don't
like,
care.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So if he's a rapist,
I'm gonna still watch the movie. Yes, he's a rapist. He's a fucking piece of
you're
shit
gonna
person.
watch Captain Jack Sparrow.
It depends on the movie. I'm not one of those people where, like, if I
That's what
love
I'm
the
saying,
actor,
like,
I'm going to see all
are
the
you
movies.
Gonna, like, if you're gonna watch a movie, are you really gonna like? That's the whole thing. With if you're gonna watch a movie, do you care about what the hell they did before? You're watching a movie.
But if a rapist, convicted rapist, or whatever, blah blah blah, is in Star Wars, I'm going to go fucking see Star Wars. I mean, that's just, if you're a fan of the...
I mean, that's pretty deep for you. I'm just looking at a bunch of Star Wars paraphernalia right now.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, are you you're gonna discredit the talent? Because
let's say Banksy. They find Banksy. There's a bunch of Banksy in my studio here. Let's say if they find that Banksy had some nefarious shit, whatever, blah blah. I think I'm going to take his art down. No, it's art.
No. Yeah,
I
understand.
It's worth more.
The thing
criminal.
is, you're not hurting Johnny Depp by going. You're basically hurting the studio, hurting this and that because he's still
he's getting paid regardless.
Yeah, totally.
You know how many Castro shirts were bought?
What? Castro what?
Shirts.
It's I thought you said Castro shits. I'm like, I
Castro
don't
shirt,
know
like,
if... Like,
so I get it. And the things that he's done,
Sure.
and people still buy the shirts.
Absolutely.
People still buy the cigars. People still, so it,
Well, the thing
is what it
they
is.
don't really know they don't really know what's going on, like what role he's gonna play. They haven't spoken about it. They're also saying that maybe they're gonna sticking with the contract. They want to soften the ground before the movie comes out. That's why they're releasing it now, which is exactly what happens because the movie's not supposed to come out for another 2 freaking years. So let everyone else know now and kind of feel them out. But Warner Brothers wouldn't comment on the role that Depp will play. Consensus is Depp will play Dark Wizard Gellert Grindelwald. All the fans are like, no, that's not how you pronounce it. Thank you. I don't even.
Are they?
Yeah, probably. Considered the ones who are really pissed off that Depp was in there. Totally considered second only to Voldemort in deadliness. So it's something that people are kind of pissed off with. But what's really, really interesting, playing opposite of him is a younger Albus Dumbledore. So a younger Dumbledore plays opposite of the character that everyone thinks Depp is going to play, and that person hasn't been cast yet. And interestingly enough, my really, really good friend Allegra, who we've spoken about on the show, she listens to the show, also wants to be on the show. In fact, we spoke a couple days ago, and she's like, I want to be on your damn show. But anyway, her husband is Jared Harris, who is the son of Richard Harris, who played Dumbledore in the first 2 original Harry Potter movies. What? And Jared Harris... he's been in a bunch of movies, Man from U.N.C.L.E. more recently, also in Sherlock Holmes. The Crown, is that the one on Netflix that just came out now? I'm pretty sure The Crown, which is really, really awesome. And he was also in Steven Spielberg's Lincoln movie, I'm pretty sure as Grant, which was a smaller role, but it was that was an awesome, awesome movie. And it's not a role that he is brought up for very often, but I don't know, for some reason that was probably the role of his that kind of stuck out to me the most. But he's had a lot of really, really awesome roles. Anyway, so there's been a little bit of a push to get him into this role. Jared was quoted as saying they're obviously thinking about it. I haven't heard anything and I don't expect to. It's not up to me. And when he's saying they're obviously thinking about it, he's talking about the fans. Having seen the fans' campaigns before, I can find that film bosses don't like to have their hands forced. These campaigns almost always go in a different direction. They're planning 5 films, but the fans think it would be awesome if the son of of the person who played Dumbledore in the first 2 movies would be Jared Harris, and that would be freaking awesome.
He was also in Last of the Mohicans.
Who?
Damn.
Jared, as a British lieutenant, Jared Harris.
Was that 92?
Yeah, 92.
So anyway, there's been a push. So I mean, I was
Mr.
talking to
Deeds.
Allegra. Obviously, she's leading the charge, trying to get him into this role, which I can understand. Yeah. But hopefully they'll be able to get him in there.
Yeah, man.
So,
I mean, look at Kobe. He was able to
who?
bounce back.
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, he was able to bounce back.
Well, he certainly bounced back in his last game, dude. That was amazing. That shit was amazing. If you're gonna go out, that's the way to do it. So
I'm not happy about that.
What?
I mean, I feel like the Lakers could have did so much without just keep. I mean, I understand the respect and that, with the rings and all that.
You're saying they shouldn't have kept him so long.
Yeah, not at all.
No, but here's the thing. That's how you create loyalty in your team, because someone will see that and they'll be like, if I really produce for this team, they will back me up and they'll be there for me. They'll let me go out, like the way I want to go out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
bro.
Fan
I
base,
know.
bro.
I get it. But like,
That's how we wanted Iverson to go out, but instead he got cut.
That's how we wanted Wade to go out.
Yeah, exactly.
But then he
They
came
didn't,
back with the Hall of Fame.
So that's the thing. Like Kobe Bryant, he was already locked into a deal, so they were stuck with him with Wade. He got a new deal. Now, if he was to hurt himself, and he knew he was retiring, it'd be a different story. But if Kobe was going to get another deal and the Lakers weren't going to give it to him, he would have gone somewhere else.
And would have got paid.
Wade,
But he was
and
done.
Iverson compared to Kobe.
Bro, we're just making
Hold on,
comparisons.
okay.
Are you saying Wade is not compared to Kobe?
I am. No, Kobe, forget it. Kobe's got Wade on lock. Kobe, same thing with Iverson.
I know you're a Heat fan, bro.
I'll admit it.
I am a Heat fan.
I'm a huge.
That's why.
I know. You're a Heat fan.
I
I'm a
hate
Heat
to
fan.
admit it, but yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Like
Kobe,
Kobe, that's it, man.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
They could only do that for Kobe. They couldn't do that for anybody else.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
And nobody was gonna be like, you know what?
And
Why
that's
did
what
you
I'm
do
saying. So who wouldn't want to play for an
it?
organization
I'll
like
let you
that?
win. I'll let you win. I don't even know why I asked that question. You
So,
win.
anyway.
When you shoot a piece of trash into the garbage, you say Kobe.
Yeah.
Kobe!
Dude, I called it.
Well, I say Jordan. I ain't gonna lie. My generation, we say Jordan. Jordan.
No,
Now they say Curry. Now they say Curry.
They say LeBron.
No, they're not gonna. They're
Or
not gonna
Curry.
say. They're not gonna say Jordan and Curry like they said Kobe.
Or
No,
Exactly.
I-
They're not going to say Jordan and Curry. Like,
for sure. I still say Jordan. I don't say Kobe as much anymore. I mean, Jordan's my generation.
well, the
But yeah, absolutely
millennials,
right.
the millennials say Kobe.
Hey,
hole in one Tiger. They don't do that anymore. I don't know who they say now. But
Nobody
it's
cares
just the way
anymore.
it is.
Nicholas.
Yeah,
Is that a real person?
Yeah.
Oh,
Jack Nicholas. Really, bro?
He's good.
Damn.
once the black people were
Damn.
winning, I stopped watching.
I'm glad you said it because I was Jesus.
I actually didn't watch it even when.
So anyway, this happened
John
yesterday. Literally yesterday, 7:39 a.m. November 30th. Oh my god!
Get him! Get him!
Every show, man. Fuck. Of course,
Well,
with my schedule lately, I'm surprised. And it is happening more, but I'm just freaking exhausted.
Luckily, it was a couple
lost.
days ago because when I was sick with whatever I had, my voice was cracking real hard.
It was. So anyway, a bucket of gold flakes valued at $1.6 million was stolen from a truck in New York City.
Gold flakes.
Gold flakes.
Yeah.
It was a bucket of gold flakes that was stolen from this truck. It was an armored freaking vehicle.
I saw the GIF.
And the freaking the truck was wide open in the back. Doors were open. The gate was down. This and that. And this guy, if you watch the video, and this is from CNN, you can get it anywhere. If you watch the video, the guy kind of walks by the truck, sees it open, notices it's an armored car, kind of like
I'll
looks
grab
around.
anything.
Dude grabs it. The thing ends up weighing like 80-some pounds because it's full of gold flakes. But he walks away with this thing. And I'm pretty sure he's still at large. There's video of it because it's New York. There's video of everything.
Dude, they know the guy?
They have no idea who this guy is.
Nice.
I mean, like, what do you mean flakes? Like, what do they
gold flakes. I don't
Trimmings,
know.
like probably
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
leftovers from something.
Jewelry
Oh yeah,
making.
80 pounds
or
of gold.
Yeah,
Fuck,
that's
yeah.
your way.
86 pure. $1.6 million. I mean, they're
Wow.
describing it as gold flakes. I don't know. It could have been gold chunks. It could have been whatever.
It was probably a couple
the video
bricks,
I
bro.
saw, it looked like it was a.
It was-
Oh, they know the guy. Look. No, they know who he is.
No, they know who he is,
If
but
you
you
can see
got to
his
find
face,
him.
Yeah,
Thing is, they haven't found him yet. So
He could sell that
Could
shit
you
anywhere.
No, but you know what's crazy? This guy probably thought he had a bucket of like silver dollars or quarters or some shit,
Yeah.
and he opens up and is like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like, what is he supposed to do with it?
But look how
Take a
he
hacksaw
really took
to it.
advantage of the situation.
Dude, he just walks up He's just like, "Yoop, see," and he kind of jogs away, like, "Doo-doo-doo, no, nothing to see here."
Really
Yeah,
took
he's still
advantage of
at
the
large.
situation, dude.
So anyway, I don't.
They should let him have it.
What's he gonna do with it though? I mean,
He's
he's gonna
just
melt
got
it together.
$1.3 million worth of gold.
1.6.
He could.
You go to the
bring
flea market.
He
They'll
can
melt
bring it
the gold.
anywhere,
No,
bro.
he can melt it, yeah, but he's not going to be able to freaking, pawn it off.
Of
Everyone's
course you
gonna be
are.
looking.
It's-
No,
it's-
everyone's looking for that shit right now.
Flakes?
Oh,
Flakes?
gold
Dude,
flakes?
after
Flakes?
this, yeah. After after this freaking robbery, you think everyone's going to
Yeah.
be looking for this shit.
But you're not delivering.
He's selling
gold
gold flakes.
bricks.
It's
Gold
not,
bricks.
it's not. You're looking for diamonds. You're not
Exactly.
looking for diamonds.
Now you could take this gold because gold is one of those elements you can compress it, you can bend it, you can mold it, you can
Exactly.
do
That's what I'm
everything,
saying.
and it never breaks. It's completely remoldable. So you could, crush it into different shapes or something like that. But
You're
yeah,
telling me that a jewelry shop, any jewelry shop, every jewelry shop will not accept gold nuggets?
I'm just saying.
Untitled,
He's
unnamed,
not. Let me tell you right now.
undocumented.
If this happened in
gold
Miami,
nuggets?
it's already sold.
If it happened in Miami, yeah, dude. Nah, but if you're some random guy, you don't know how to get rid of that. It's
Yes,
different.
you do. I'm random.
So what
I'll
do
go
you,
to any lick. I'll go to
No,
any
no, you're
jewelry
just-
shop.
Yeah.
First, I'll go to the.
sure. And what are you gonna do? How are you gonna unload like 3 or 4 flakes?
Yo, I got gold nuggets. What's
I got
up?
like 5
But
pounds
they're
of
not
gold
nuggets;
right
they're flakes.
now. I got
Hey,
5
baby,
whatever.
wanna
You
see
melted
my
into
nuts?
nuggets. You melted into nuggets.
How are you gonna melt it? Can you find?
No,
look
you
up
can't-
the
no,
melting
at the
port
flea
for
market.
gold,
No,
please.
look, this guy, Marcos is not melting the flakes.
They make.
You're not
I'm not
melting
melting
the
the
flakes.
flakes.
You're not
Talking
gonna melt
about
the
gold,
flakes,
man.
He's just gonna get like 3 pounds. Go to the flea market.
Yeah,
1,940
2,000 fucking degrees to melt gold. Where are you gonna do that, dickhead?
He's not doing
You know,
that. That's
they
why
make-
I said he's
they
not
make gold
melting the
teeth, bro.
gold.
They make gold teeth at the flea market.
Wiki How, 3 ways to melt
They
gold.
don't make it. They go, WikiHow 3 ways to melt gold.
Yeah.
That guy's been on this site. Let me tell you,
He's not doing that.
They make gold flakes.
his best bet is just sit on it and sit on it and sit on it, and then maybe like 3 years from now, I'll sell some flakes somewhere.
If he walks away with anything, he'll walk away with about maybe what you said 1.6, maybe a third of the money.
Bro, you give me $500,000
You could
bucks, it's yours.
No, you could use it with a 1200
Wouldn't it
watt
be great
microwave.
if there's some bad guy? What's that? You're not
Yourself.
melting
You're not
gold in
doing
the
it yourself.
microwave.
You know what?
You're getting rid
I
of it
am
yourself.
melting the gold.
You're getting rid of it as fast as possible, as easy as possible for
Exactly,
a
but-
third
Dude,
of what it's worth.
$500,000.
But look, as easy as possible, they're looking for
But
flakes.
what's
You make
great
nuggets.
is there's probably some freaking guys out there who saw this guy's face and they know where the guy is, and they're not going to start like, listen,
He's probably
we
in the
knows
fucking
you.
river.
And the plot thickens.
knows you. Give us the gold, Dunskies.
Hey, Lars, what if you come to my crib and you got 80 pounds of gold flakes?
I
Are
wouldn't-
we still friends?
I wouldn't kill you, not you.
Are we still friends?
Not it. We have some people named let's start with the letter K that I would.
Boom. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it, man. We're pretty much going to wrap this up. Any last minute thoughts? Any last minute anything?
Marcos didn't follow the rules.
Which rules,
What
man?
rules? Well, he did
You
get a
know
little
the-
drunk, a
Yeah,
little bit.
Yeah,
That's
He
right.
didn't follow
guys are
the rules.
lying.
But it's
That's
all
all
good.
right.
It's all good though.
It's all
he,
good.
He almost made it.
Any last minute thoughts, Lucas? Yeah, right.
Skin of my teeth. Skin of my gold teeth.
Go ahead, Lucas.
What are my thoughts?
Any last minute thoughts?
I don't have thoughts.
No?
No.
Yeah, no shit. If you said everything you thought, you'd be speechless.
Oh,
Anyway.
they're coming out with a Tupac biopic.
Oh, yeah?
Another one?
No, like it look. This is like actually looking like a good one.
Okay.
Like
June
it's actually
16th.
going to show that Suge Knight got him murdered?
No,
Like,
no,
what?
no, not like that, bro.
Oh,
No,
okay,
they don't,
okay.
they don't
Not
want to start.
conspiracy.
the-
Oh,
they
so
don't
it's
want to
not-
start
okay,
the fire
okay.
again.
Not conspiracy, like actually like good
Okay.
acting, well played movie. Like,
Sweet.
like,
Who's Tupac?
I don't know.
That's
what
the
it is.
question.
It looks just like
Yeah.
They
him.
probably don't have him cast yet. Oh, they do?
Yeah, June 16th is coming out.
The last guy that played Tupac
Sweet.
in the movie died, just so you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Scary.
True.
How?
Fact.
How is a question?
Doesn't matter.
I think I shot.
Anyway, that is it. Boom. I guess we'll look for it. You know what? You come to see Star Wars with me, bro. I'll see Tupac with you. How's that?
You're gonna see it regardless. So.
Good luck.
That's true. You're going to
And
see
I'm
Star
happy
Wars
to-
regardless.
I'm
We
gonna see
just
Star Wars
dig.
because of the podcast, not because of you.
Hey,
so like,
you're gonna
the
enjoy
podcast
it.
is bigger than
You're
you.
gonna
Seth.
enjoy it.
The podcast is bigger than you.
It's true.
You can never make me watch Star Wars, but because of this, I will watch it.
Thank the Lord. Something's got to be bigger than me. Jesus.
That was good.
Anyway, any last minute thoughts?
Harrison Ford, why did you have to kill
Marcos
him?
didn't follow the
Anyways.
rules
Yeah, seriously. Anyway, fuck you guys. We're out because we said so.
because we said so.
Because we said so.
Because we said so.
Boom. You actually listened this far? All right, then. You get to hear Marcos and I rap.
I am the dark I put that kitty out the cage, shoot that cage off the kitty. You're grabbing my thick mane, train. I don't stop licking like when that pendulum swing. That's my tongue on that clitty. Itty bitty titties, delicious. I be bullshitting, and I be bulldogging, digging holes till they falling. I be all in that fat cat crawling, and I'm stalking like a lynx in that pink. Down her throat, I pounce. Antelope, you got no hope. I smoke you like dope, but I will never leave her. Die with you, no cheater. I am what you need her, I guarantee ya. I'm a lion, but I'm for all my chicas. 9mm, take a look at my piece, so we gon' train with it. Lionesses and zebras, nothing less. You got the best coochia, and I got my coochio on the low. Take the kitty out the cage, take the kitty out the cage, 'cause you got no hope. Take the kitty out the cage. Take the kitty out the cage. I smoke you like dope. Take that kitty out the cage. Take the kitty out the cage. Take a look at my piece. Take the kitty out the cage. Take the kitty out the cage. Lionesses and
Holy crap, it's a tiger attack. The bitch is ripping off my clothes as I'm counting my stacks. I step back, but I don't care about the powder in the air or the nugs on my hair. Oh shit, she just took off my underwear, but I'm scared. The way the kitty's foaming at the mouth, dripping south to the floor, locks the door, she wants more. And the look in her eyes, not a lie, says that I might get eaten alive if I try to move one more inch behind. Take the kitty off the cage, take the cage off the kitty. Are you trying to be witty or make pussy sound more pretty? Because the way she's coming at me, gonna use her claws to slap me. Or maybe she's mad at me, but won't give up until she has me. Oh, how can I get the cage back on the kitty? My friends would think I'm crazy, or my head is kinda hazy, or I might be that lazy. But yo, that shit don't faze me, alright? Cause the truth is, kitty's gonna get destroyed tonight. Take the kitty out the cage, 'cause you got no hope. Take the kitty out the cage. I smoke you like dope. Take the kitty out the cage. Take a look at my piece.